It's different. Force now produces and supplies military weaponry and hardware to about 10 African countries such as Niger, Chad, Burkina Faso, Ghana, and more.
Like I said, it started in Nigeria. I mean, Nigeria is our home. Nigeria is where we cater to the most. And then it kind of just, products we're seeing, global image. And right now we cater to about 10 African countries.
Partnerships include supply of armored cars, weapons, and other security intelligence systems.
All of these cars being done here at Proforce, and when they're all completed, they'll be all deployed. I mean, what more can you ask for? He sent down people here, they've come to take a look. Wow, I can see the production. We're happy. But imagine you order a vehicle and it takes you 2 years before they even bring it. When it gets here, they have issues. They'll be saying that, oh no, it's not an issue. But look at it now. He leads in Nigeria.
The state-of-the-art Amarin facility of Proforce is located in Oderemo in Ogun State, southwest Nigeria. The factory sits on a 40,000 square meter land.
All right, so thank you very much for listening. Again, it's something to be proud of. We just listened to two representatives of the two companies. The first one is Ipil in Mowe, Ogun State, and the owner is Engineer Kola Balogun. And then the second one is Proforce at Oderemo in same Ogun State. It's owned by Adetokunbo Ogundeyin. We've mentioned how they supply equipment to different nations in Africa, and that's something to be proud of, right? It's not all bad at home. Nigeria is not a zoo. Things are working, it can get better, but you have to be involved as well, and don't assume that everything is just, in disarray because certain people have said so. That's not what's happening. People are building, things are being exported in this same country where everything seems to be so terrible, according to some, right? And it's important for us to see this so that, again, you might also find your own place in this whole mix, and your contributions also will help to develop our land. All right, so that was something that I thought we should share. And if you're on YouTube, thank you very much for understanding. We had some issues earlier, but it's better now, and I think you can now stream. But if you're on YouTube, please like the live and also engage. I think these things also help the live itself. All right, thank you very much. So let's move on to other news. A few days ago, stuff happened in Nepal, and a lot of places were destroyed, and people said all kinds of things. You had people in Nigeria saying, oh, we need revolution, and of course we spoke against that because there's not so much sense in that. In the wake of the so-called revolution, a lot has been destroyed in Nepal. There are videos of shops being looted by the revolutionaries. Again, that's what happens when we... Oh, sorry, 1 second, please. You know what, let me play you a video while I quickly sort something. Mumbo.
I am present here today to immortalize a monumental change in the course of history. Nepal, our mother, this country gave us birth, nurtured us. But what did it ask in return? Just our honesty, our hard work, our contribution. But what are we doing? We are bounded by chains of unemployment, fleeing abroad in search of opportunities. We are trapped by the selfish games of political parties. Corruption has woven a web that is extinguishing the light of our futures. Youth, rise! We are the torch bearers of change. If you do not raise our voices, who will? gonna build this nation who will. We are the fire that will burn away the darkness. We are the storm that will sweep away injustice and bring prosperity. Our ancestors shed their blood to give us this nation. We cannot sell it. We cannot lose it. We are the fire. We will burn every despair away. Now we must decide.
All right, so the fire, they'll burn every despair away. Well, while they're burning the despair, they're also burning companies, and burning buildings, and destroying parliament, and destroying Hilton. And people are cheering this young man. I mean, I like the fact that he's bold. He's 6 years old. Sorry, he's 16 years old, so he's very bold. I remember when I was 16. The truth of the matter is that there's a scripture in Ecclesiastes. It says, "Woe to the land whose king is a child, whose nobles wake up early in the morning to eat, not for strength, but for pleasure." Woe to that city. Woe to that city that its king is a child. A lot of people think they know what's up. And while you appreciate the passion of youth, you also need the wisdom of the elders. You know, it was Common. Common has this song that he wrote for Selma, the movie about Martin Luther King, where David Oyelowo played MLK. And he said something very powerful. Common, he says, it takes the wisdom of the elders and young people's energy. He was talking about how to build society. It takes the wisdom of the elders and young people's energy. If you leave wisdom to young people, everything will scatter. How do I know that? Because the day after this old revolution that, you know, is very inspiring, okay, the day afterwards, young people were shown sweeping the floor and cleaning the place. So one went online and said, some fools were saying if you destroy the country, it will take years to build back. Show them this video. And what's the video? It's a video of kids sweeping the floor. The stupidity in the person who called other people fools is the fact that he didn't realize the fact that you can't just sweep away the burnt news media houses. You can't just sweep away the burnt Hilton hotel. You can't just sweep away the shops that have been looted. You can't just do all those things. And these are the things that you don't think about if you're enamored with the idea of a revolution. There is no plan for the future. It's just about what you want to do now and the fact that you want to change power. And the thing is that they have already set themselves back by a few decades. I hope they catch up very soon. Hello, yes, that's the song. Come on, Glory featuring John Legend. I like the song. One day when the glory comes, it will be ours. It's a fantastic song. You should go for it, by the way. But I like that line. No one can do the work individually. It takes the wisdom of the elders and young people's energy. Fantastic rap. You know, so we need everybody, right? We need the young people's power, energy. But the young people have to understand the fact that in Yoruba land, we have a proverb, right? Everybody's going to have to pitch in. Don't assume that everybody who has gone ahead of you, they know nothing. And all you want to do is just to change the thing. The elders are stupid. You have the ideas. Okay. By the time you're done, you'll be left with rubbles. You're going to have to start with this, your wisdom that may be very difficult for you to navigate the world with, right? And so, again, I know I talked about this the other day, but I'm saying it again, all this revolution talk, while it's powerful and it makes people feel, you know, as though they've had a fix, it's important for us to also balance it with reason. What Nigeria needs is reformation, not revolution. We need people who can look at things and change stuff. For instance, I played a video earlier. I think I played a couple of videos just today. What's happening in Oyo State in the farm, Fashola, that the governor of Oyo State has rebuilt. The place was there all this while, built by Olowo. It's been there, left in disuse, disrepair, and then the governor comes along, fixes it up. Companies are going in there right now. They are producing stuff, right? Oh, is that now that one we go chop? Well, we talked about EPL in Mowe, building all kinds of military armaments and tools and all of those things. And in that same Ogun State, we also have Proforce building, you know, the Remo. These are people who are doing stuff, not because Nigeria is perfect, but what they are doing is what will contribute to the perfection of Nigeria. That's how reforms take place. Of course, we have the policies from the federal government. We're going to read another one just about now. Things are happening, right? Maybe slow, but rather take slow and steady than fast and destructive. So people are very fast, but they have, you can be going very fast to nowhere. You're on the fast track, you're on the fast lane, you're driving, but you have no idea where your destination is. It's important for us to calm down and not destroy what the little we have, especially if you're from the Southwest.
We don't have that luxury.
Especially if you are Yoruba, we don't have that luxury.
They don't think of starting this revolution.
Those who want to start revolution for some weird reasons, they don't think of starting this revolution in their home state.
Why is that the burning of things have to be in
Every idea of want to change Nigeria, why does it have to start in Yoruba land? Why is that the burning of things have to be in Yoruba land? Why not burn your governor's house? Not that I want you to do so, but since everybody wants to burn things, why not burn? There are no BRT buses in some places. Thanks for the gift, Pretty Yeti. There are no BRT buses. You have BRT buses, they get burnt. There are no new courthouses. You have new courthouses. They got burnt this last NSAS.
One of the best on the continent.
Right? Forensic center that the Lagos State built, one of the best on the continent, burnt down. Why? Because they are protesting.
What has happened to the things they burnt down? Who's going to pay for
The question is this: when they were done with that protest, what has happened to the things they burnt down? Who's going to pay for those things?
Tell them to quickly go home because their home needs more help.
Whenever people come to you with this fantastic idea of revolution, please tell them to quickly go home because their home needs more help than we do. I mean, we need help, but not that kind of help. Because that kind of help will set you back decades, and then you're now wondering how you're going to. I'm looking for something I want to read. You're now wondering how you're going to rebuild because the people who have these crazy ideas. By the way, if anything happens, and this has happened in Yoruba land before, it happened in 1993. If anything happens, people will go back home. This is your own home.
For the most part, people will start clinical and
If anything, because this is what happens for the most part, people will start clinical, and if anything happens in Yoruba land, people will go back home. The question you should be asking yourself as a Yoruba person is, where is your home?
Lagos was some people's land. They went back to their homes.
1993, some people left and went back to everybody remember that Lagos was some people's land. They went back to their homes. They left with kaka. We were left to bear the brunt.
Just saying this.
Not that we mind. I mean, we don't mind. It's our home after all. I'm just saying this. Don't let people use you and shouting want to change Nigeria. Meanwhile, let me quickly read something from Steven Pinker. He says the French Revolution was a disaster, killed 2 million people, led to the rise of Napoleon, perhaps the world's first excuse me, Mumbo.
I'll take it again. This is from a video, but I want to read what he said. I want to play the video.
I'll take it again. This is from a video, but I want to read what he says. I want to play the video. Steven Pinker, he says the French Revolution, because a lot of people also talk about this French Revolution. And I remember saying something on Wednesday. I prefer it. I'm saying it again. I know I'm saying a lot of. I'm repeating it again and again, but it's important. Reformation is better than revolution, especially in a country like Nigeria, especially in Yoruba land. And when you hear people telling you how great French Revolution was, ask them what happened. What was the aftermath of the French Revolution? And if you study history, there was a time people were comparing eras in different European countries. That era, the 18th century, in the 18th century into the 19th century, when you compare England and France, the difference was that one underwent a spiritual reformation that affected all kinds of things in their country. The other one went through revolution that led to what Steven Pinker is saying here. So let me quickly read it in your hearing. The French Revolution was a disaster, killed 2 million people, led to the rise of Napoleon, perhaps the world's first totalitarian fascist dictator, who began wars of conquest that killed an additional 4 million people, led to the restoration of slavery, to the restoration of the monarchy, and the delay of democracy in France by perhaps a century. Russian Revolution killed several million, led to the Russian Civil War, which killed another 9 million, led to the rise of Stalin, who killed 20 million. There's an old cliche, you can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs. Well, it ignores the fact that people aren't eggs, and that generally does not result in an omelette. Again, the Chinese Revolution, perhaps the most disastrous event in history, led to the Great Leap Forward, and the Cultural Revolution killed perhaps 30 to 40 million people all together. let's remember this thing. Revolution is not mouth. It's not by wearing a beret. It's not by shouting. And there's, with all due respect to everybody who is doing whatever they're doing, while I respect your right to call for whatever you're calling for, we have to ask them questions. When we are done with this destruction, how do we rebuild? What's the plan? Who will be our leader? Is it you? If it's you, what's the plan you have for the nation? What will happen in the regions? What will happen in the states? Are we going to become one lump sum? Everybody just together, we're just one. Or are you going to change the structure of Nigeria? Right? What are you going to do in health sector, in education sector? By the time you're done asking questions for like, what I'm asking right now is not even up to 30 seconds. Just ask these few questions. All this motivational speaking that makes everybody say, yay, oh my wale. Because you, for the first time, you discover that the person himself has to apply reason to what they are doing. And that will calm us down. Not calm us down to be docile. Not calm us down to celebrate the status quo, but calm us down in order to have the time to think of practical, creative ways of, solving the problems. And then when you solve the problems, you then, eat the fruit of it, or at least your children will eat. Not the one that I'm afraid of. With these 3 points of mine, I hope I've been able to explain what I wanted to explain on that particular matter. By the way, somebody put out a flyer. I don't know. I think it's a joke, but I think it's important to put it there because there are 2 things you've noticed. I don't know if you have noticed. There are 2 things I have noticed in the last 2 days. Majority of people looking for Nepal in Nigeria from one ethnic group. Majority of them supported one candidate, a particular candidate. Just about everyone. I'm not saying every, but just about every single person. Like the majority of the people who want Nepal experience in Nigeria are from a particular ethnic group in this country. A majority of them supported a particular candidate.
Enough is enough. It's a flyer I saw online. I think it's beautiful, by the way.
And someone says, enough is enough. It's a flyer I saw online. I think it's beautiful, by the way, because it makes sense. Enough is enough. Enugu deserve better. Nepal is here. Nepal standard protest. Venue, Enugu State House of Assembly, date 11 September 2025, time 6 a.m. I think the person was joking, to be honest. I think it's just sarcasm, but I think it's a very, very important sarcasm. If you really must have that Nepal, have it in your hometown. If you don't, you will collect. And speaking of collecting, meanwhile, before I even go and speak about collecting, let me read something from the member representing Aguata constituency in Anambra State House of Assembly has empowered constituents with branded wheelbarrows. No, he did more than that. There's cutlass there and hoe. They're on me. And he put his name on it. Let me show you. These are people telling to do and do revolution and destroy your home. Wheelbarrow far in 2025.
Wheelbarrow. With cutlass and hoe.
Wheelbarrow.
Empowerment.
With cutlass and hoe. That is empowerment. You call Honorable Engineer Domoka for Agric Empowerment, FCCO/CAP/G/2025. I don't call number as it long. /467. That's empowerment. Is it empowerment? I'm very sure it's empowering. Maybe it's empowering to his own people. Maybe that's what they need. I have no problems with that personally.
Just like these are the people that will tell you to fight for your right.
It's just that these are the people that will tell you to fight for your right. Nepal.
I'm just asking.
Don't they need that Nepal more than you do? I'm just asking. I'm not saying anything. I'm just asking questions. Because it's at this point we need to be telling ourselves the truth. It's becoming very, very ridiculous. 1 second, please.
And in the spirit of ridiculousness, the man who
called himself Obi of Lagos and decided to Lorilaya rent a venue and print flyers and IVs talking about, endowment for a palace, 1.5 billion naira palace. Well, that man has been arrested by the police. I'm going to read something from the Lagos State Police Command. Police arrest self-acclaimed Obi of Lagos along with 3 accomplices, foil planned unveiling ceremony. The Lagos State Police Command today, Wednesday, September 10, 2025, successfully arrested a self-acclaimed traditional ruler who paraded himself as the Obi of Lagos along with 3 accomplices, thereby foiling their attempt to mislead the public through an unlawful installation ceremony. The principal suspect, Engineer Chibuike Azubuike, male, aged 65 years, an indigene of Obodoku Ancient Kingdom, Idiato, North Local Government Area of Imo State, was arrested alongside 3 co-conspirators, Chief Chibuzo Ani M, male, aged 57 years, Chief Martins Nwaldika, male, aged 65 years, and Mr. Ikechukwu Franklin Nadi, male, aged 41 years. All 4 suspects are presently in custody at the Lagos State Police Command Headquarters, Ikeja. Intelligence available to the command indicated that the group had finalized arrangements to unveil a prototype of a purported 1.5 billion naira palace of Obi of Lagos State on Saturday, September 13, 2025, at Apple Hall, Amuwo Dofin. Acting on this information, the police sealed off the venue in order to forestall any breach of the peace and to protect unsuspecting members of the public from being misled. Furtherance of this preventive action, the command deployed adequate manpower, including conventional operatives, Eco Strike Force teams, and other tactical squads to the premises earmarked for the ceremony. Their presence was to guarantee that the event did not hold as planned and to ensure that public order and peace within the area were not compromised. The suspects are currently in detention. An investigation is progressing into the nefarious activities. The outcome of the investigation will be made public and they will be charged to court accordingly. The Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Command, CP Olondare Jimo, warns members of the public to remain vigilant against impostors and criminal elements who attempt to exploit revered cultural and traditional institutions for selfish gains. He reiterates that such actions are unlawful, contrary to the statutes of Lagos State, and capable of breaching the peace of the society. The command will continue to enforce the law firmly and decisively against any individual or group engaging in acts that undermine legality, public order, and the integrity of the state. That's from DSP Babasheyi P. Olusheyi, Deputy Police Public Relations Officer for Commissioner of Police, Lagos State Command, Ikeja. Before I tell you what I think, let's listen to this.
Hello, my people. Some people, they love chieftain's title. They like how we wear. It be like say, when they don't make some level of cash, the next year they call their mind. Now, chieftain's title. These people, they don't represent any tribe. It's just personal ambition. That's why I don't see them. They just like her. Nobody send them. It's like a desire. For instance, this man, Chibioke, will unveil a palace worth billions of naira for Obi of Lagos. Obi of Lagos. And I ain't gonna be the Obi of Lagos. And this title, according to Lagos law, no they exist. Before you can confine yourself with any title, must pass through the right channel to confine that title on you. You get the point now? Now, they don't arrest him. Arrest him with his planners. Now, him be this. These are the men where they arrest him with. As you can see here, police arrest Obi of Lagos. Stop planned 1.5 billion palace unveiling. What they plan along to attract people na New Yam Festival celebration. Now the invitation be this special invitation. You are specially invited to the unveiling of the prototype, a prototype of 1.5 billion palace of Obi of Lagos State, and celebration of his first that means he never done before, his first Ofala festival, that is New Yam Festival. Venue Apo Amowodofi, Lagos, Saturday 13th September, just next tomorrow, 2025. Time 12 noon prompt. Project includes office complex, event center, guest house for Igbos in distress, shopping plaza. It's like a replica of the one we see for Ghana. For me, no be Igbo people say this man should ask me. Now a personal desire.
That was exactly what I was waiting for. That statement that he made. Even he is doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. That statement that he has repeated a number of times is actually one of the reasons folks in the Southeast have problems in Nigeria with different people. In fact, not just Nigeria, everywhere they go. When you say Igbo people did not send him, the question is, when he did it, what did you say? That statement, he was using it as a refrain again and again. Nobody sent them, now he won't do them. When he was doing it, what did you say about it?
Who does something that's wrong?
It's a case of you have a person amongst you who does something that's wrong. You don't say anything. If it works out, you celebrate it. If it doesn't work out, you say he's sending himself.
When this person
why are we deceiving ourselves?
Spoke about it and said this thing is wrong. Do you know what a lot of
when this person put out stuff and we spoke about it and said this thing is wrong, do you know what a lot of folks from the East said?
You are a bigot. Why are you speaking like this?
They said you are a tribalist. You are a bigot. Why are you speaking like this? Do you not have Oba or something? Do you not have Oba of Kinikon? Do you have palaces outside your traditional homeland?
Nobody of consequence.
In other words, until the police caught him, nobody of consequence, especially the one that's always talking an X. Any small thing happening in Ibadan, in Lagos, in Sokoto, in Kaduna, he will talk. But if it happens in the East or to any of these people, no, they are his brothers. He doesn't say anything. So the point is this: folks from the Southeast also have to be bold enough, since they are not cowards, they have to be bold enough to speak up when people are doing things that are wrong, so that it doesn't have to get to the point where you now have to say, no, but we send him. The only reason you are saying that you did not send him is because it did not work out. If you had won, you sent him. Guys, this happened in 1966. Again, like I said, the beauty of history is when you're able to actually learn from it and also apply it in, the lessons in present day. The thing is, when the coup worked, everybody said it was an Igbo coup, including, by the way, the first people that said it was an Igbo coup, not the first person. No. On air, we heard from BBC, but the group that first claimed that the coup was Igbo was people from the Southeast living in the North, because it worked. When it backfired, they said it was a revolutionary coup. It wasn't about the Igbos. We know what we are doing. Am I saying Igbo sent him to do what he did? Of course not. There are many Igbo people who think this is, disgusting. The idea of having an Obi of Lagos State. They think it's nonsense. But guess what? They will not speak. You can sit down in your corner and just be thinking is wrong, is right, is wrong. You don't say anything. The ones that they're influencers, they're social media influencers who will speak on every matter, make sure that if anything has to do with the Southeast, they don't say anything. If it works, it's their own. If it doesn't work, the person is on his own. This thing is a sign of primitiveness, primitive mindset in Kini. Let's be telling ourselves the truth. I'm not saying they cause it to. Clearly, there are Igbo people who don't agree with this thing. Many of them. But they are silent. What is your disagreement? What does it matter if you're not going to speak up? And then when people start speaking about it, you then talk to people like us and say, you are bigots. Why are you against them? Do you not have Oba people, Oba in Enugu? Does it, again, maybe they even need to change all the titles, Yoruba or Hausa or anybody. They are chairmen of the association of the ethnic group or the ethnic association in your land.
If a Yoruba
They are not kings. Is the chairman, or if a Yoruba person becomes Oba, in fact, now it's called that one. I saw one yesterday. They started calling him Eze or something. The language of their own people. The point is that the person is not hereditary title. He doesn't deserve a palace. It's an association of Yoruba people in Sokoto, Yoruba people in Akwa Ibom, Yoruba people in Anambra. It's an association. It's not a kingdom. This primitive mindset that makes you look for kingdom in Ghana and in Yoruba land is going to cost you something. It's going to cost you peace of mind, because people will begin to now turn.
Please, everybody, look at the comment section on TikTok.
Do you know, guys? Let me pause. Please, everybody, look at the comment section on TikTok.
The one on YouTube, I've been seeing it for a while. I just did not see anything.
And the comment section on YouTube. The one on YouTube, I've been seeing it for a while. I just did not see anything. If you can look at the folks on YouTube, can see both YouTube and TikTok. But if you're on TikTok, please look at what's on TikTok. The last person who typed.
I only pity the generation that will face
I'll read the one on YouTube first. I only pity the generation that will face the wrath of the Igbos. You should have learned to spell properly. Wrath is not wrath time you're talking about. It's supposed to be wrath. But again, I'm not surprised. Do whatever you like now, because you believe you have the power to do so. Just keep your contributions intact for your children. You keep it intact for your grandchildren. Now, this one says on YouTube, on TikTok, says, this man, stop Igbophobia. The best of you and the worst of you think the same way. It's a shame. And the ones who don't think that way, they are quiet. My advice is for the sane people amongst you, because I see this nonsense that you guys keep typing every day. It doesn't mean anything. But the sane one amongst you, please speak up. Correct your people. Somebody says, let us save Nigeria first. George Eziofo, you are very stupid. You typed the first one, I didn't address you. You now came again to type. What's wrong with you?
You're stupid. You want to fix Nigeria
What's
first,
wrong with
but
you?
can't even fix your own hometown.
You're stupid. You want to fix Nigeria first, but you can't even fix your own hometown. You have a caste system at home. You are not doing anything about it. You have a way you have hierarchy amongst who is Igbo and who is not Igbo. You have not done anything about it. You want to fix Nigeria. Do you know how many ethnic groups are in Nigeria? More than 300. But you want to fix, you cannot fix your own, but you want to fix the. Why are we like this?
Don't charity begin from abroad?
Does your own charity begin from abroad?
This one says fix useless Nigeria. Nigeria is not useless.
Since this one says fix useless Nigeria, Nigeria is not useless. I'm Yoruba, Nigeria is not useless. And I'm not saying this because of Tinubu. It is, even regardless of who was president, whether it was Obasanjo or it was Yar'Adua or Jonathan or Buhari, my own understanding of Nigeria is not uselessness. But for you and yours, it will always be useless. Because there's no way you're going to come from that part of the country that you're from, that you will not think Nigeria is useless. Because this mindset, by the way, Yoruba people, let me talk to us, because this mindset, where you're always calling Nigeria bad, you will never have any good thing to bring out of Nigeria. It's not a curse. Your land will be deserted. Your land will become a barren land. And it's not because God made it so. It's because your mouth, you will not stop cursing Nigeria. So your own part of Nigeria will always experience that. People are literally running away from home, invading other people's spaces.
Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that. Even if you have money,
and everywhere you go, what do you say? Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that. Even if you have money in your pocket, it will become useless.
Nigeria is not perfect. There's so many things. There are many things that has to be fixed.
I mean, Nigeria is not perfect. There's so many things. There are many things that has to be fixed as far as Nigeria is concerned. But this mindset of it's terrible, it's useless, it's zoo. You are the animal. You are the animal, and your part of the country is the zoo. And the ones who are always sending me messages who are saying, there are many of us who are not like that. I respect you. My question just is that, why are you quiet? Why don't you speak to your people? Why don't you correct them in love, with respect? Why don't you teach your people to become better? Why don't you change the narrative? Why don't you tell them about possibilities? About even the greatness of the Igbos without having to lie. Just talking to them, but based on who they are and the possibilities in their own land. The erosion doesn't have to push them out of the place. That they can fix it, that they can build something. That they should stop going everywhere looking to become kings. People who don't have kingdoms at home want to create kingdoms in other people's places without ever thinking of conquering those places. By the way, even if you think of conquering it, you cannot conquer it. You can't conquer anywhere. You've not conquered your space. And by the way, all this Nigerian unity that you guys use, it's nonsense. Nigerian unity is, there's some fantastic words that motivational speakers use that we have to interrogate.
Let us unite.
It's abstract. What does it mean? Let us unite. Kilo Tumosi, what's the meaning? Tell me the meat of that thing. What does it mean? Let's build Nigeria. Okay, what does it mean? Listen, Nigeria will develop based on the development of its constituent units. There's no Nigeria to develop if the units under that make up Nigeria are not developing. I've said this before. If I'm looking for a FIFA-rated stadium in Nigeria, the first place I think about is Ẹkáàbọ. That's Nigeria developing because somebody is doing something in Ẹkáàbọ. The Super Falcons want to play one match. I don't know if it's Falcons or Falconets. They're going to use Adamasingba by Ibadan. That's because they fix up that stadium. That's Nigeria developing. Not just sit down in one corner of your funny life and be saying I think of Nigeria, but your home, you have nothing to contribute, you have nothing to do. It's just be looking for Nigeria. Meanwhile, by the way, to be fair, Enugu State is doing some interesting things. They have a new airline now, and we're looking forward to great things coming out of Enugu State. That's what we're talking about. I saw what the governor was doing. I saw it, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? That's something to celebrate. That's something tangible. That means, okay, Enugu is doing something. Abia State is doing something. By the time you put all these somethings together, Nigeria has developed. Not that you leave your home, go everywhere, constitute nuisance, and insult the country, and then tell me that we should come and fix Nigeria. What Nigeria are you fixing if you can't fix home? By the way, George, I did not mute you, but that's the last time we're going to type anything senseless. You already gotten 2 opportunities. Any nonsense you type now, you are muted. I won't block you, Sha, because who knows? Maybe if you listen to this, it might help you. But please stop being stupid. God bless you. Somebody say Ondo is big. Yes, I even Ondo concept on that they need to do something down on those states. Which, in fact, thank you for ever bringing up Ondo State. I was going to talk about Federal Ministry of Education. I'll come back to that. Let me play you a video that, again, you know, we platform a lot of fantastic human beings in Nigeria. I would like to play you something from one of them who. We are all young, but let's us get information. Let's get knowledge. Even if you don't get wisdom, at least have some knowledge before you speak. This one has no knowledge of what he's talking about, let alone wisdom. But take a listen to this.
All right, so I woke up feeling this way, right? I think Lagos is the state that is slowing the whole Nigeria down. And at this point, after thinking through all of this, I think Lagos should be made a country of its own. And here's why. Why must everything come through Lagos? Like anybody will import anything, the container must land for Lagos. And they get other options where they can create other seaports. Why must everything land and come through Lagos? You know, think about it. Lagos is actually slowing Nigeria down. Because imagine if we get other ports, like maybe we'll get the Delta State ports, may take care of all those eastern region. Say, container land for Delta states. The people where they do Anambra who can carry from Delta State ports. People where they do Enugu and all those neighboring states where the Anambra side for that region who can carry from Delta State. It will make things actually cheaper. Do you understand? Come to think of it, Lagos is really slowing this country down. Make a park. None of it's making sense. Lagos is our problem. Lagos is our problem. Imagine say we get ports for Kogi. This land for ports. People are there, Abuja, Kaduna, all these neighboring states for that.
Want to have ports? Want to have ports in Kogi? Should I even continue listening to this nonsense? Okay, yes, Ẹkáàbọ, yes.
John, go carry from there. It could actually make things cheaper than when everything, bro. everything land in Lagos. Not just that. Bro, international flights. Most of the times people go through Lagos. Every other international airport we get for Nigeria, they just call them international airports, but they are abandoned. You cannot actually connect to like.
So I just saw the note that you guys wrote in the comment section. Social media is a blessing. Social media is a blessing. But the platform's ignorance, if you're not careful, like it can spread ignorance. And people be saying it with boldness because you know you have the platform. It's a shame. If the only thing you got out of going to school is the ability to read and write and speak English, there's a problem. You literally have a device that has the libraries of many institutions in your palm. You mean to tell me that you don't know that there are other ports in Nigeria, that ONE is functioning, that Calabar port functions? You mean to tell me that when the federal government came up with this thing about ammunition being smuggled into Nigeria through ONE, you mean to tell me you didn't know about it, that customs made a lot of money from ONE in the last few years?
I'm even looking at where to even start from. Let me read from Business Day.
I'm even looking at where to even start from. Let me read from Business Day. Nigeria is a major maritime nation in the Gulf of Guinea region. The country has about 7 functioning seaports, including Lagos Port Complex, Tinkan Island Port Complex, and Lekki Port, all in Lagos State. The Lekki one was not built by federal government. If I'm going to explain everything, let me just continue. The Calabar Port Complex in Cross River State, the Delta Port in Warri, Delta State, the Rivers Port Complex, and ONE Port Complex, both in Rivers State. The Lagos complex, also referred to as Premier or Apapa, is the earliest and largest port in Nigeria. It is situated in the Apapa area of Lagos State. All right, I want to read. By the way, you mentioned that airport thing. That thing, I don't think people really think in this country. Everybody just open phone. I mean, it's good. Thank God. Even me, I'm talking to phone right now. But at least more they read before we can't talk. You know, Enugu, they were shouting that there was no international airport. That airport was built by the federal government, though. And there was a particular flight that a particular airline that used to fly from Enugu every week. Ethiopian Airlines. There are 2 reasons why they're having issues in that place, though. Number 1, Ethiopian airline that used to fly once,
Ethiopian Airlines that flies once a week said
there is no traffic. They were getting more vegetables than human beings in Enugu.
No, it just means that most of them would rather maybe.
Does that mean there's something wrong with Enugu? No, it just means that most of them would rather they rather go to Lagos to fly or go to Abuja to fly out. If Ethiopian Airlines is coming there, see, people that say they're against federal character, they're actually the ones that want federal character the most in this country. You're not going to have international flights from a country from an airport because you are also a region in Nigeria. The company is not doing charity. It's business. If they have traffic, they will fly. If they have no traffic, they won't fly. Gateway, Ogunsel is developing. They just finished opening up the Gateway International Airport. Oyo said is doing their own. People are building. Nobody's looking for anything from the government. Say, come and make us international airport. Okay, now you have been made international airport. Who is flying from that place? There's insecurity.
Things being brought into Nigeria using that particular.
Then there's a case of things being brought into Nigeria using that particular. Let me not even get into that thing. We had a session here about that the other time. Number 1, there is no traffic.
Number 2, there's insecurity
that will make it profitable for the airline to go there. Number 2, there's insecurity in regions in that particular region. No thanks to people who will not condemn evil unless it happens on other people's spaces. That's your business, yeah. And then you have a situation where people are bringing certain things into Nigeria, or taking things out of Nigeria using a particular airport. And then you know what happened in ONE. Let me see if I can find that particular news item. employing everybody.
Sorry, what Lagos
Gets less generate as revenue.
even able to produce?
It's these regions, all these regions that collect more money than they are even able to produce.
VAT revenue.
What was the IGR of what was the VAT revenue of Eastern region
Did they get back in return?
in the first half of this year? How much did they get back in return? I hope I can find this thing. I need to find it.
This year, what's today's date? Today is 11th, right?
This year,
Today is 12th. On the
what's today's
5th
date?
of September,
Today is 11th, right? No, today is 12th. On the 5th of September, customs raised 859 billion naira revenue in Port Harcourt, and they seized 200 billion contraband in that same Port Harcourt airport that does not work.
1 trillion naira.
How did customs raise almost 1 trillion naira?
How did customs raise
Let's
859
think about this very well. How did customs raise 859 billion
ports?
in a non-existing
Almost a trillion naira.
port?
But it's only Lagos that exists.
Almost a trillion naira. But it's only Lagos that exists.
This same year, July of this year, Custom explains how it trapped 20
This same year, July of this year, Custom explains how it trapped 20 billion naira illicit drugs in Onne port.
The people they carry drug enter and travel.
The same port that does not exist. But people they carry drug enter
The one I read about
and
that
travel
happened
through that port.
That time when
Okay.
Tamapa was still talking.
The one I read about that happened with all this, that time when Tamanapa was still talking.
This was in September of last year.
Customs, arms smuggling, why we declared emergency at Onne, this was in September of last year. That was when it was shut down for a bit because they were bringing a lot of arms and ammunition through that same port that these people are saying doesn't exist.
2 days ago. 10 September
And lastly, customs, this one happened 2 days ago, 10 September 2025. Customs seized 13.5 billion naira worth of illicit drugs at Onne port.
that they have against Lagos, and by extension,
This thing that they have against Lagos, and by extension, all of the Southwest, and for people who wish others evil, you cannot grow. It's impossible. Life doesn't work like that. You're going to attract hate, terrible energy, and stagnation into your life. It's just the fact. There are people, there are states in Nigeria that don't have seas, or that don't have coastline, e.g., Oyo State. So what did Oyo State decide to do? To build an inland port, a dry port.
they're not shouting, we don't have port.
That's what those states are doing. They're not shouting, we don't have port.
Be a port, a seaport in the east.
There is no port. Number one, there can never be a port, a seaport in the east, in the southeast. It's not possible because it's only God that can do that. And I mean, what God cannot do does not exist, Abi. But this one, if God does it, it will have to take people's land, though. I know land is not much already, so if you can't take more land, can't pull sea. Anyway, the point is that there's no sea in the east, and the reason is because of geography. There's no sea in Oyo State because of geography. There's no sea in Kaduna. There's no sea in Kano. It's because of geography.
It's costing more than it can even produce.
The river port that the federal government did in Onitsha is costing more than it can even produce, and they just did one last month.
Do people care if their region grows, or do they just concern themselves with trying to pull down?
Do people even care if their region grows, or do they just concern themselves with trying to pull down other people's places?
Seaport. They're working on Badagry right now.
Lagos State built Lekki Seaport. They're working on Badagry right now. Ondo State is doing is it Lokola? The port. That one they're building in Ondo State is by Ondo State. I think Akwa Ibom, they're talking about Ibom, this deep sea port right now. How come you guys don't think? You just always blame people for your problem. Like, oh girl. Meanwhile, what are we even importing, Gonsef? Kojo Barok Budu, Kojo Kan, Kojo Dagbogbo Epo, Kolon Shashanu. Ewo, because again, I told you in Fila.
You just spread misinformation. Lagos is the point of Nigeria.
You have a platform and you just spread misinformation. Lagos is the problem of Nigeria. Meanwhile, Lagos is generating much more than it's even getting back. Let me see if I can find that particular statistics. Mumbo. It's a shame, man.
That's the funny thing. If you were not taught how to be grateful, the people that are doing
That's the funny thing. If you were not taught how to be grateful, the people that are doing you a favor, you still curse them out and tell them that the reason for your predicament. 1 second, please.
Lagos, according to Mrs. Adeosun, that's the former finance minister.
Lagos, according to Mrs. Adeosun, that's the former finance minister, collect 55% of Nigeria's VAT.
What happened between January and June of this year alone?
55%. So let me tell you what happened between January and June of this year alone. Forget last year, because it's the same thing, by the way, but let's just focus on this year. Between January and June of this year, Lagos has contributed 4.0 total VAT January. The entire money that has gone out in January was 76.3 billion naira. That's what Lagos State contributed. So that's 11.8 billion of all the money that Nigeria got from everywhere for VAT. Sorry, guys. You always have retards coming here from time to time. So let's just get them sorted. So I wouldn't want you to go and tell your dad that I sent you home to him. Let me just mute you. Or I don't tell it. Where was I?
649.
All right. The country realized 649 billion in January. Of the 649 billion, Lagos alone contributed 76 billion. That's 11.8%. But from January to June, let me just give you a summary, a total breakdown. January to June, Nigeria realized 4.099 trillion naira. And of that money, Lagos generated 458.98 billion. That's approximately 11.2% of what we realized between January and June. That is the region, that is the state that is holding you back.
And outside VAT, we got 6 trillion naira in 2024.
And outside VAT, we got 6 trillion naira in 2024 alone on customs revenue, mostly from Lagos State. Because how many of the things they bring into the Southwest leave the Southwest? It's a very good question. I'm going to answer that question with a report. But I don't know if anybody knows the answer to that question. How much of what is imported into Nigeria through the Southwest leaves the Southwest? Give me a second. I'm going to find a paper.
Because if those other places are working and they are bringing in...
Because if those other places are working and they are bringing in... And they are bringing in, what's it called? They are bringing in guns and having illicit drugs through those places. How many of those, why aren't they using that particular port, what they're using for guns and gun running and drugs, and why are they not using it for business? I read some to you from Mumbo, give me a second. I found what I'm looking for. Okay, it's in the niche. Just give me a second. I want to read something to you. Because person with the sell market, more talk pigeon. Person with the sell market, no be say in no one go in family house, go do business there. He no say the people where they don't feel afford the thing when they sell. Now why in they stay for where they afford them? The reason why they travel all over Nigeria, they enter people place. Now because you know, say the people buy waiting they sell. You for stay house, you for stay your papa house, they sell for your people, but you know say they don't feel afford them. Let me read this thing from the niche. Lagos retains 60% imports through our papa ports. About 60% of cargo imported through the Lagos ports, Apapa, Tinkan Island, and Lekki are retained in the states, where 20 million residents constitute the richest demography in Nigeria with massive purchasing power. That is why the market is there.
You have to now look for transportation to bring it to the
So if you brought it in through on it, you have to now look for transportation to bring it to the market.
There's no market in the southeast.
The market is not in the southeast. Therefore, the people are. I'm not saying there's no market in the southeast. So I'm saying the majority. You get the point. Most of what is consumed in the southwest, particularly Lagos.
Okay, what's the sense in importing things from a particular place?
It's not about federal character. Okay, what's the sense in importing things from a particular place? By the way, do I want this thing to be decentralized? It's already decentralized, number one. Number two, I even want it to be more decentralized. Let's have more ports, and that's why you see Ẹkáàbọ building something in their state. Ondo State is building something in their state. Lagos State is doing something in their state. What are other states doing? Port is not in the exclusive list anymore. Port, railway, you can do these things by yourself as a state. And don't tell me it's impossible. Lagos is building. I mean, we have blue now. We have red. We also have purple and green. What are the governors doing?
I mean, last week,
if it's like you want to, this is important to you. I mean, last week, was it last week? There was this train that brought certain things from a particular. I think that was petroleum product. You could do it in such a way that you have the trains bringing things, which is what Ogun State is doing, by the way, where the trains can bring stuff into the cargo airport. How come everybody is doing something? Some people are just crying. Let me read that again. About 60% of cargo imported through the Lagos ports, that's Apapa, Tinkan Island, and Lekki, are retained in the state. In other words, 40% goes to the rest of Nigeria. I don't know why people just like to cry like this.
Somebody wrote something on X was last year.
Somebody wrote something on X was last year, and she said that people should not do their business they should not do business in Lagos. That they should. Hey, if you want to do business, don't come to Lagos. I don't know if anybody remembers that person. If you want to do business, don't come to Lagos. So some people were saying, yes, we'll go home. A few weeks ago, I watched a video from somebody from that region talking about what happened to their poultry business. So they've done what they wanted to do, but there's no market for it. Yes, there's no market. I'm responding to Adezon. It was Mogalu's wife. Nobody should do business in Lagos because Lagos people hate a certain ethnic group because they are the special one. Jokes. Anyway, so people now said they moved their business down. If you see, Ojo Yigbo, Lorowa, you know what that means? Our matana like Oyingbo market. We don't know who no come. Whether you come or you no come, we don't know. If you come, now you go no say you come because you go know what you don't collect. Like the blessing we don't come to you, say you come. If you no come, we don't miss you. That's the truth about Yoruba land, especially this, because this Lagos that this one is even attacking, especially that Lagos state. If you no come, we don't know. If you come, now you know.
And stop constituting nuisance. We don't want any OB of Lagos.
So again, flourish. And stop constituting nuisance. We don't want any OB of Lagos. We don't. But flourish. And if this port thing is actually very, very dear to you, do you know individuals can decide to build ports in Nigeria? A consortium can. The one that's been built in Ondo State is a partnership with the Swiss consortium. You can. I mean, for people who are all over the world, you're traveled, you can come together and build one. Build. Let the governors do something. You need inland dry port, or you need dry land port, you need river port, you need barges, let them build. Stop disturbing the peace of Nigeria. By the way, what that video I played, just utter nonsense. Lagos is the reason Nigeria is not developing.
This will even help those who want Nigeria's breakup. Maybe this will help them.
But let them continue. Maybe this will even help those who want Nigeria's breakup. Maybe this will help them. By the time you talk to a particular point, they will now cut you off to be in your place. And what betide you to say that you want dual citizenship, like Ojukwu said?
I mean, I think I've talked about it here before. Ojukwu was saying it, and Biafran people were saying they went to be.
I think I've talked about it here before. Ojukwu was saying it, and Biafran people were saying they wanted to be dual citizens of Nigeria. They wanted to get out of Nigeria, but they wanted to be Nigerians at the same time.
I mean, they have to do that thing where they cut them. What you want, you must get it.
They have to do that thing where they cut them. What you want, you must get it.
And I even heard from young people.
Benjamin, no, it's true. Ojukwu said it. And I even heard from young people, supposedly smart people, in recent times, saying they want Biafra, but they don't want to leave Nigeria.
But Biafra will be southeast.
That Biafra, you will get it though. But Biafra will be southeast.
Your ancestral land will be Biafra.
Not any other place apart from your own ethnic space. Your ancestral land will be Biafra. And I want that for you, by the way. You have it. You have it. But that's all you're getting.
They went to Addis Ababa, and Biafra's representative was.
They went to Addis Ababa, and Biafra's representative was asking for dual citizenship. 1968, in the middle of the war. If you are Igbo, may God bless you. But understand the fact that you need the renewal of your mind.
I always say don't be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
I always say don't be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That you may know what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. If you need to renew your mind. They've destroyed your psyche. It's not even your fault. At this point, it's your fault if you don't agree. Oh, that's the point. But you are your heritage is something else, man. But I'm not going to be the one to explain to you. It's just sad. It's just sad. It's very sad.
I heard it said
that what I read about in 1968, I heard it said in 2025.
it was Njoku.
Who was the rep at Addis Ababa? It was Njoku.
You wanted to have, went to leave Nigeria.
It was Njoku. You wanted to leave Nigeria, but you also wanted to be a dual citizen and still have rights in Nigeria, but you want to have your own country. Somebody says your tribe is the only good one. Number one, I don't talk tribes. You will talk tribe because you literally just jumped from the tree. I'm from an ethnic nation, so I have an ethnic nationality. If you're talking about Yoruba is not a tribe; is a nation, and we don't need sovereignty to be a nation. Okay, so Yoruba is a nation. I'm Yoruba. Nigeria is a country of many nations, but you are not from a nation. You are from a tree swinging. Let me not talk. Let me just stop.
Public PLC, and that's your business. I don't care who you are, where you're from, whatever you are.
Public PLC, and Igbo, that's your business. I don't care who you are, where you're from, whatever you are. Not that it matters, to be honest. Don't let me talk to you. Let's just be respecting ourselves like this. Let's just respect ourselves. There's no perfect ethnic group in Nigeria, not even mine. There's no perfect ethnic group. Everybody has something to work on. But you see, the difference is this. For the most part, the reason I can talk, number one, I'm Yoruba. Let's make it very, very clear. I am Yoruba. I can talk. You know why? I don't have elders who have done terrible things that will hurt me. I don't have elders who have taught me to hate others and then project hate to others. I don't have that kind of heritage. My heritage is that of altruism. My heritage is that of development, of growth. We have bickering amongst ourselves, but we don't make it other people's problems. In Nigeria's history, you don't hear where Yoruba people go from one place to another, constituting nuisance.
I don't hide my own issues.
Our own issues, I talk about it here. I don't hide my own issue, but you're not the one that will come and help me talk about it because you know fit. So again, remember, I am Yoruba. It's one of the biggest flex on earth. So that stupid question you're asking me is not meant for me. Look at the antecedents of your elders and the things that you are doing right. I mean, guys, listen. See, you can't blame a person for the mistakes of his parents, but you can blame them if you are intentionally repeating that pattern. I'm not going to say you are the one at fault for what certain people did in the 40s, in the 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, into the 2000s, consistently. Public PLC, you're not from a nation. You have literally just jumped off the tree last year. And you took the help of Ajayi Crowther. I'm going to tell you your history if you don't mind. Or if you don't stop, let me put it that way. I assure you, you're going to say one thing that will make me remind you when you got off the trees. You see, when you hear about Tarzan, and you're a Yoruba person, you're angry about it, like it's a wrong narrative. It's not like it's totally like, don't be saying it's a lie. There are Tarzans in Africa. Trees, they are in Africa.
And saying that does not change the fact that, again, it just tells you that we have different.
And saying that does not change the fact that, again, it just tells you that we have different cultures, different civilizations. There's no African civilization. There's nothing like that. There are different groups of people in Africa, and we are different levels of evolution. We're not the same, and it's not a problem until the lower one looks up and talks to the higher, because there are higher ones. I used to say, I like being PC because I don't want to offend people unnecessarily. But at this point, I think we should be reminding ourselves the truth. Once the lower one begins to look at the higher one and tries to pull it down and says nonsense, I think we have to remind the ones who are lower. And right now, I'm not mentioning any group. If you want me to mention it, what's your name? Pick. Continue talking. By the time I'm done with you, you go to your father, you wonder why he gave birth to you. Say, don't talk about our tribe. Don't talk about our tribe. You don't want people to talk about but your people constantly create problems everywhere. But they should not talk about your people. That's bigotry. In other words, you're going to retain the monopoly of stupidity and also the monopoly of I don't want responses. You want monopoly of stupidity and monopoly of response. In other words, you can do nonsense, you also the one that will talk. The rest of us should be quiet. Please, if you type anything, I'm going to mute you. I think I haven't derailed what I'm trying to do. Rather. Anyway, let's move on from bad news. Let's go to Federal Ministry of Education. This is from the Federal Ministry of Education, Office of Director, Press and Public Relations. And it's a press release. Driving skills, shaping futures. Federal government unveils major revamp of technical education to equip youth for future jobs. In a bold reform to secure a brighter future for Nigeria's youth, the Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Tunji Alausa, CON, and the Honorable Minister of State for Education, Professor Suwaiba Said Ahmad, have announced a major curriculum revamp for technical education in Nigeria. The reform is designed to reduce overload, build strong trade competencies, align with global standards, and prepare young Nigerians for the future. Under the new structure, all federal science and technical colleges, FSTCs, will now operate fully as federal technical colleges starting from the 2025-2026 academic year. Each college will offer a minimum of 6 and a maximum of 10 trade courses, while students will now take between 9 and 10 subjects. This includes 1 trade course, 5 or 6 general subjects such as mathematics, English language, physics, chemistry, biology, and citizenship and heritage studies, 2 or 3 trade-related subjects, and 1 elective. The old range just means that they are revamping the curriculum for the trade technical colleges in Nigeria. So kids will be able to take courses in that area. So that's quite fantastic. And I'm happy with that. There's so many things that we're experiencing from the Federal Ministry of Education, and we're just glad that we're making progress. So I'll just read this from the Nigerian Police Force. So the NBA, that's Nigerian Bar Association, dragged the IG to court over tinted glass of Nigerian Police Force. The Nigerian Police Force is aware of a Punch newspaper publication of 5th September 2025 reporting that the Nigerian Bar Association has dragged the Inspector General of Police to court over tinted glass permit policy. It is pertinent to set the record straight to avoid misinformation to the good citizens of Nigeria on the legality of the issuance of tinted permits by the police. Section 23A of the Motor Vehicles... 1 second, please.
Section 2, subsection 3A of the Motor Vehicles Prohibition.
Section 2, subsection 3A of the Motor Vehicles Prohibition of Tinted Glass Act empowers the Inspector General of Police or any person duly authorized by him to grant or approve the permits. Furthermore, Section 1, subsection 2 of the same Act provides long gist. The point is that they are trying to defend the fact that they are going to be issuing tinted permits. If you want to know more about that, please visit their X handle for that information. A few more things before we go today. Well, we're not going yet. Before we go to class.
This is coming from the Director General.
This is coming from the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. The former Nigerian Finance Minister and current WTO Director General Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has urged the world to look beyond stereotypes of Africa as a continent defined by corruption and dependency. Speaking during a TED Talk, she stressed that Africans are increasingly unwilling to tolerate corrupt leadership and are pushing for reforms that can reshape governance and economies across the continent. When you hear about the corrupt Africa, I want you to know that people and governments are working hard to fight this problem in many countries and successes are beginning to emerge, Okonjo-Iweala said. She acknowledged that the fight against corruption is far from over, but emphasized that there is now genuine political will to confront it. We can invite partners to support us, but we have to start ourselves, she added. And then she said, if you are not in Nigeria, you are not in Africa. That's from WTO teaching. And that makes a lot of sense. So thanks to her speaking well of Nigeria in international circles, unlike these clowns who just came again. Who are you? Who is this one again? I think you just came here to be a funny person. Anyway, another news is from the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohamed Pate. And he says here, the FG sets December deadline to decriminalize attempted suicide. He disclosed this on Wednesday during a press briefing in Abuja to mark the 2025 World Suicide Prevention Day. So that's that from the Minister of Health. I'm going to bring people up now. So if you'd like to contribute to the conversation, please feel free to send your request, and then we'll bring you up. We'll spend the next few minutes discussing the news, and then we'll go to class and discuss how ethnicity influences politics in Nigeria. Good afternoon, Akin Shafi. Thank you for joining us, sir. While we wait for those who want to come up, let me just read some news. Again, good news. Relief in sight as Elisha, Ilara, Akaka, Ode, Remo Road project advances. 12-kilometer road is being built in Ogun State. It's awarded to Steel Earth Construction and Realty Limited, and it has recorded major major milestones. During the tour of the project, the regent of Akaka, Engineer Bola Awoderu, described the road as a lifeline that has restored hope to communities long neglected by successive administrations. According to him, Akaka had been cut off for years with collapsing markets, farmers unable to transport produce, and dwindling social activity. He praised Governor Dapo Abiodun for fulfilling his campaign promise and ensuring the total reconstruction of the road rather than a mere patchwork. So that's good news from Ogun State. All right. Okay, I have more things to read, but somebody's trying to come up, so let me bring you up while we get into the other things. Oh, person don't go. Okay. Oh. All right. I already paused what I was going to read. Let me just bring the person up so that I can have that contribution, and then we'll go on. I think I should also add this good news. Nigeria is not listed in the top 10 African countries. It's not even listed on IMF list of debtors. There are top 10 African countries with the highest IMF debt in July, but Nigeria is not one of them. That's something to be glad about. Math Tuition, good afternoon. All right, while we're waiting for him, let me also share this good news from Anambra State. The Anambra State government said it will construct, and well, it's not good news yet, well, at least it's a promise of something good. We hope to see that happen later. The Anambra State government said it will construct another airport at Ndikelionwu, Orumba North local government area of the state, less than 4 years after the inauguration of the Chinua Achebe International Cargo Airport, Umeri. What do they need these airports for? Anyway, they said the project will drive industrialization, attract investment, and transform the state into a thriving, smart mega city. I hope it works out for them. That would be nice. But I mean, since they just finished one, but again, people have the right to do whatever they want to do, sure. Someone says most governors are using it to park their private jets. It is well. Again, we have just one person to make the submission. Nigeria has cleared its $1.61 billion debt to the IMF, exiting from the fund's list of indebted countries. It's good news, so I got the talk small. Matt Tuition, please go on. Good afternoon. Okay, I think we are really having issues with math tuition. All right, let me read this update. Let them build as many amenities. Sorry, let me read from here. Let them build as many amenities as they wish, cause they complain about Lagos being the hub. Fair enough. That's why I said I hope it works out. I mean, it's a good thing, right? But let me read this update from the Lagos State Police Command. Investigation so far revealed that the principal suspect, that's the one that's shouting up Obi of Lagos, This is the update on that. Investigation so far revealed that the principal suspect, Engineer Chibuike Azubuike, later confessed to the police that he is not a qualified engineer, but merely a supplier of construction materials to construction companies, which formed the basis upon which he has been parading himself as an engineer. Further findings revealed that the planned unveiling of the Obi of Lagos Palace was fraudulently designed as a ploy to swindle unsuspecting personalities and other Nigerians of their hard-earned money under the guise of the unveiling of the prototype of a 1.5 billion naira palace of Obi of Lagos State. Next, it was also established that the principal suspect acted alone without the backing or recognition of any legitimate chieftaincy authority. In other words, no order. You can just wake up one day and make yourself a king in another person's land. Nobody is making you the king. Members of the public are therefore enjoined to disregard his claims and other misleading publications on social media aimed at causing disaffection among the peace-loving people of Lagos. Meanwhile, investigation is ongoing and all suspects involved will be arraigned in court upon conclusion of the investigation. You call yourself engineer. Meanwhile, you don't even go to school. You are trading, you are selling materials to construction companies. You are not, hey, Jesus. It is well with our soul in Nigeria. So the engineer way they use when nobody talk, you can't go say, since they not talk, say make I stop this engineer, may I even collect Obi Joy. You can't call yourself Obi of Lagos. Where was I? Let's go to something good from Dangote Refinery. Dangote Refinery to commence free fuel distribution Monday reduces petrol price to 841 naira per litre. The Dangote Refinery will kick off its free fuel distribution scheme on Monday, beginning with the Southwest, the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, as well as Kwara, Delta, Rivers, and Edo states. In addition, the refinery has slashed petrol prices to 841 naira per litre in Lagos and the Southwest, and 851 naira per litre in Abuja, Edo, Kwara, Rivers, and Delta states. Praise the Lord. We're getting there gradually. Let's bring some people up. We'll have the submissions and then we'll move on to the class. Hello, Math Vision.
Aloha. Hello, my brother.
Good afternoon.
Our prophet on social media. Do you see? This is what you've been saying that our Igbo brethren should avoid and talk to one another.
Yes, I can hear you.
You know. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. I'm just trying to process what you are saying, but I'm listening to you.
Yeah, so everything you are saying is prophetic, and again, it is not prophetic because we have a blueprint from the past. And like they say, that those who fail to learn the lesson of history are doomed to repeat the same. I think it's high time that Lagos State and the entire Southwest region need to have like a pseudo immigration policy, because when you have immigrants coming in, it puts pressure on resources.
Wait to hear that.
Well, it's true now.
Wait to hear that they are citizens.
Yeah, we are all citizens, but the city, for example, you have a 2-story building. You can only accommodate 2 families, for example. Now you want to put 10 families in there. That's a recipe for disaster. Upon all the money that Lagos State government, for example, is spending, or the other Southwest governors are spending, you cannot see the evidence of it because there's too many crowd. We don't have enough schools. You don't have enough hospitals. You have people coming in every day in their thousands, every week in their thousands. Who is going to cater for all those needs? So we must have a sort of pseudo immigration policy where you are registered, where we plan who is coming in, who is going out. It's important for us to be sustainable as a region. Can you hear me, sir?
Please continue.
Please continue.
Mark Tuition, are you there? Let's give him 30 seconds.
Math Vision, are you there?
Let's hold on for him. And if he doesn't speak,
Let's give him 30 seconds to speak, please. Just let's hold on for him. Then if he doesn't speak, they'll know that maybe it's a network issue. Just give him 30 seconds, please.
God, person of the. So that tells you their visionary leadership can work. What we need now, we need more Dangotes to come and put their money where their mouth is. And we need more politicians who has the wisdom and the foresight of Mr. President to build things that will attract relevant investment. All our people from the Southeast that said that they have money and they want to build Lagos, they don't need to build Lagos. They need to go back to the East and build their villages. When you say you have 1 billion naira, 10 billion naira, use it to go and build Mahia, go and build Oka, go and build all those places so that it can grow, it can thrive, and we can have alternatives to places like Lagos in Nigeria. Can you still hear me, sir? Hello? Finally, my final point is a lot of the subnational government are receiving a lot of money now. I think people should be asking the governors what they are doing with the money, and they need to hold them more accountable so that development can spread even quicker than it is going as we speak. Thank you.
Very much,
Thank you very much, Math Tuition, and fantastic points. And but before we go to the next person, let me just respond to someone in the comment section saying, why are you thinking the way you're thinking? You see, if you're from a place where you have no history of city building and you have no cosmopolitan you live in and who are talking about how to protect the place, not because they hate you, but because they know that at the rate at which we're going, if we don't do something, or if the government doesn't do something, we might just be like every other person, right? Without, sorry, I think there's...
Okay, hope it's better.
Sorry about that. So, if a person is talking about his own home and talking about the government making sure that things are good so that everything doesn't break down, you can't be in the comment section coming from the region that's coming into his space and telling him why is he thinking like that. The question I should ask you is that why are you away from home? See, all of us move out of our houses, we move out of our homes, but we don't question our hosts how they want to regulate their space, you know. And yes, and I know there's an issue with, by the way, did Anambra State not move people out to Ebonyi and different parts of Nigeria? Did Peter Obi not do it when he was governor? You guys do these things. Once you hear it's happening in the Southwest, then you now begin to wax lyrical. Anyway, the point is, it's about structure again, and I'm sure it's not things that we can discuss here, but the politicians know what they will do about it. I want to go everyone to our separate ways. That's not a bad idea. You know that the thinking is very shallow. You have not given us anything deep. Seeing that you know a lot about shallowness, I think you are probably the king of shallow waters. Pavik, just say this one out. God bless you. All right, let's go to Bishop. Bishop Solution, good afternoon.
Are you there? Oh, I'm sorry. I think I just muted you. I was trying to unmute you.
Are you there?
Good afternoon, Busi.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I just muted you. I was trying to unmute you. Mistakenly muted you. Just...
Okay.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Jerry. How are you? I greet every one of you.
Yeah, I greet you too. Go on.
I
Go
greet
on.
you, Busi.
Yeah, I greet you too.
Thank
Go
you.
on.
Okay, thank you. My submission basically is that this is 2025. And for a long time, I've been seeing your live stream, but I just listen from the comment section sometimes. You know, that's because me, things relating to tribe usually does not fascinate or impress me.
Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from?
Where I'm from? I'm in South Africa.
I didn't say where are you. Where are you from?
Okay, what ethnicity are you?
River State.
Okay, what ethnicity are you in River State?
Are you Igbo?
I'm Ikwere.
You are Ikwere. Are you Igbo?
Yeah.
No, are you Igbo?
Equeries sometimes are considered Igbos.
Leave them. No, you. Are you Igbo?
Of course, we speak Igbo dialect.
Are you Igbo?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I have that one. You said conversation about ethnicity and stuff doesn't interest you. What interests you?
Yes, because I think in 2025...
wait, just answer the question. What interests you? No, hold on. Don't tell me what interests you. Like, what are the things that interest you? Like, this one doesn't interest you, so what interests you?
Personally, I think we should be talking in terms of national progress, national development, and not
All right,
tribalism.
Thank you. How many followers do you have, Bishop, on TikTok?
I don't check, but I do know that I do have over 1,000, almost 2,000 followers on
All right,
TikTok.
thank you very much. So what that... Thank you. So what that means basically is that you have the capacity to actually organize a live session. You have more than 1,000 followers. Would you mind organizing a live session and discussing all these things, all these bright ideas that you have? Would that be a problem for you?
No, not at all.
All right, so please go ahead and do that. And then I'm sure other people that think like you will also come around and listen. Is that fair?
No, it's fair enough.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution. Is there anything else you want to say?
Yeah, basically, firstly, I want to say thank you for bringing me up. Like I said earlier, I think we should, at this point in time, begin to see that the tribal wars in Nigeria are uncalled for.
Who is fighting tribal war? Are you involved?
Just like
hold on.
So we don't end up one day, destroying ourselves and our children.
Do you not like to be respected?
Do you not like to be respected?
Do you not like that exchange and when we ended it? Are you supposed to...
Do you not like that exchange and when we ended it? Are you supposed to, everybody has grey matter.
You are South African, you are Equatorial, you are Igbo. You think I didn't have answers to the things
you are South African, you are Equatorial, you are Igbo. You think I didn't have answers to the things you were saying. I just felt it wasn't necessary. You had to
I was still trying to respectfully guide you.
I don't even know how to say that in English language. I was still trying to respectfully guide you so that we don't go into things that makes, because what you started with was absolute nonsense. I was getting you out of there. Let's just talk about things and talk about what you can do in your own space and let's just stay there. But you had to go back to that thing. You know what? I apologize, Bishop. Let me bring you back up.
When you come up, I'm going to be asking you questions. You are not having any submission because when you are going...
But when you come up, I'm going to be asking you questions. You are not having any submission because when you are going, it will make me say things I don't want to say. So as I ask you questions, just answer me. No, don't worry. We're not going to fight. You are Equatorial, you are South Africa, you are Igbo. You are Igbo actually, living in, I don't know. Here's the point. Here's my question to you. Bishop, unmute. Okay. Have you unmuted?
Okay, so why do Equatorial...
I did.
Okay, so why do Equatorial and Igbo people say, why do most, if not all Equatorial people say they are not Igbo, but you say you are Igbo, and why are you having bickering amongst yourself just in that group?
The network is perfect.
You're breaking. I think the network is
the network is
now.
perfect. It's stable. It's as stable as a rock.
But from my side, it's breaking. But now I can hear you better.
Perfect.
Hey.
So you are telling us about we should stop being tribalistic and everything. So my question to you is this.
My question to you is why are
my question to you is
I think
why are
network, I don't know if
don't worry. If you hear me now, ba? Okay. Why do Equatorial people say they are not Igbo, and why
now I can hear you.
Why do Equatorial people say they are not Igbo, and why are you saying that you are Igbo, and why are you guys not agreeing on your identity amongst your small group? Leave Nigeria for now, in that small space. When I say small, I don't mean that they are small people. I mean like smaller in comparison to Nigeria.
I would say that in a civil country and in any democratic platform or in a situation whereby people want to be civil, when people are asked questions, we should respect their opinion without having to get angry. Yeah, we are not in a military regime where if people answer question and they don't submit to your opinion, then suddenly they have to be hated. Look at what happened to Keck. He was made.
Let's move on to the topic of today. I apologize to everyone for bringing him back up. I apologize to you all. Nami mess up. I apologize. All right. Mouthvision, thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate your presence here. Thank you, sir. The South African Bishop, thank you very much. Blessings on your South African diocese around Ikwere and Igbo land. Let me tell you something. I have very, very little tolerance for nonsense. When I allow it, is because I don't want to make it look as if I'm against anybody. But I ask a simple question. See, here's the point. The point is that whenever you hear anybody say that they are Ikwere and they are Igbo, they are actually Igbo, latching on to Ikwere identity. I don't like to go into your matters, but history has already told us that. That one is one. Number two, whenever you hear anybody say we're in the 21st century, we're not supposed to have ethnic identity, know that that person is a thief. I don't care if he's a bishop, pastor, reverend, whatever you are a thief. There is no group on earth that is proud of what they are, or proud of who they are and proud of what they have, that want you to take away their uniqueness in this world, including in the country that he mentioned right now. You say, what is wrong with being an Igbo? That's not my business. What's my business with what is... Okay, that's not... I don't even care. Here's the point. People who want you to erase identities, for the most part, are people who have nothing to fall back to. Whenever you see a person telling you that forget about the past, forget about your identity, it's because he has no past. It's because his identity gives him nothing in the world. It's because if wherever he walks to, whatever he walks in this world with his identity, nobody takes notice because it's as good as non-existent. So what he's doing is he wants to flatten the curve. He wants to reduce everybody to the same level so he can feel like he can win. His definition of growth is the erasure of other people's uniqueness. But in that definition, he will make sure that he makes himself the better person because he would never leave where he's from, even though where he's from is not as much as, it's just a little over zero. The point is, it's a particular ethnic group in Nigeria that talks this nonsense. But people forget, people becoming detribalized. What does it mean? I'll tell you something from history. You see, and I think I said this on Wednesday, in the 1920s, there was in the 1920s, there was a movement that grew in Yoruba land primarily, and then you had a lot of nationalists growing up, in Yoruba land. All of them had this pan-Nigerian mentality. This was before Bishop. Bishop, please, I'm begging you in the name of God. I will send you home. That is Yoruba, by the way, for saying that I'm going to refer you to your parents. Please. Everybody was one Nigeria, one Nigeria. This thing that he is looking for in 2025, Yoruba people, your fathers did it more than 100 years ago. Let's make something very clear. What he and his people are looking for in 2025 is what we, our fathers, did 100 years ago. The question is, why did we stop? So I'm going to quickly explain it to you. You see, they were all pan-Nigerian. Great things for Nigeria. We want Nigeria to be free. They wanted Africanization of the civil service. They wanted independence. They wanted growth in the economic space, social space, political space. They wanted to be able to compete with the colonialists, right? So they had all these things going for them until 1937. What happened in 1937 was that Bishop's elder, where he's from, because he's not Ikwere, he's Igbo, his people got involved in that movement, which is Nigerian youth movement, that started in 1934. By 37, his own man got involved and he turned everything around and he built everything around his tribe. And he ensured that that group was destroyed. By 41, he engineered a tribal political, let me just put it this way, he engineered tribal politics in Nigeria's first national or nationalist organization. And what did he say? He said, oh, they don't want this person to be something because it's Ijebu. And he ensured that, I knew you were going to come out of your shell. Guys, please, I'm coming. This guy wrote Solution Prayer, Prophecy Counseling. You are a dumb person. Your bishop should be in the dustbin. You are not a bishop. And let this be the last time you write nonsense. I don't want to insult you. I don't insult people, but don't drag. This is the problem with you people that use titles. You are the people that bring disrepute to the name of God. You bring disrepute to Christ. I mean, nobody is perfect, but you are dumb.
They will make you, they will tell you, this is what Zeke was saying, that all of us...
They will make you, they will tell you, this is what Zeke was saying, that all of us, we are one Nigeria, but he will be using his Igbo thing. He was pushing that Igbo. It was in the early 1940s that people woke up, Yoruba people woke up, after about 20 years of being nationalists.
They woke up to the reality of the Igbo takeover.
After about 20 years of being nationalists, they woke up to the reality of the Igbo takeover of Nigerian politics. Let's say it as it is. It started in 1938, and the person who spearheaded it was Zeke. And by 46, when he became the head of NCNC, which was not an Igbo party, what did he do? He Igbolized the party. Is it good or bad? That's not my business. My point is that that's what has happened in history. The people who tell you to forget your ethnicity are the ones who are going to make whatever you have their own by making the ethnic group the major people in that thing that you are doing together. There's nothing like the tribalized Nigeria. It doesn't exist.
As a Nigerian, if you are
there's nothing like the tribalized Nigerian. As a Nigerian, if you are a sane Nigerian, you'll be proud of where you are from. You'll not be saying you are South African, or maybe you're even living inside MBC. The point is, you are proud of your identity. It doesn't mean that you are not a Nigerian. What our fathers taught in the 1920s and 30s, as a matter of fact, they started early 20th century, right? And then but it became very strong in the 1910s and 1920s. What they thought was that being Nigerian and being Yoruba were not incompatible. In other words, you can be both. What some people came with was, sorry guys, I've got to mute this clown, man.
Oh, we are the ones who are supposed to be leading.
What some people came with is, oh, we are the ones who are supposed to be leading. And that's what you see in Azikiwe's writings in the 30s, late 30s. 38, 39, 40, 41. I've read it here before. The things from the West African pilot that was publishing at the time. By 46, he had become the president of NCNC after the demise of Abat Macaulay. What did he do?
You guys probably think that I really need you to be here.
Sorry guys, I think you guys probably think that I really need you to be here. Pavik and your dress of your... I wish I could say the things like that I just have in my mind.
I'm glad I'm not saying it. What he did was to...
But I'm glad I'm not saying it. What was I? What he did was to engineer an ethnic takeover of the NCNC. It happened in the east, and then it happened in Lagos, and then it happened all across the nation. The point is this: be proud of where you're from. What my elders thought, which I believe in, is the fact that I can be Nigerian and Yoruba. Because number one, think about it, what's the Nigerian culture? And if you notice what they do, this nonsense that they're carrying all over the place, anything that is Yoruba, they'll make it Nigerian. If it's from their place, they'll call it theirs. The most basic things that you could share with others, they will make sure they make it known that it belongs to them. But everything that Yoruba is Nigerian. What's Nigerian culture? Think about it for a second. What is Nigerian culture? Is there a Nigerian wedding? Do we have a Nigerian wedding for real? Or are we actually just deceiving ourselves using Yoruba as Nigerian, just to make ourselves feel good? What's the Nigerian music that's all over the world? Which one is really the one that we're celebrating? Where's the Ashwebi from? What's Owambe? This is how it starts. The tribalized. Before you know now, Owambe is Lagos culture, but Lagos is no man's land. Therefore, Owambe belongs to no man. You must think you are living with dumbos like your family members. Sorry, I'm sorry I'm even saying this because I'm just getting irritated. Lagos is no man's land. Owambe is Lagos culture. Therefore, Owambe belongs to no man. If Lagos becomes the center of the things that you are pushing out into the world and you make Lagos belongs to nobody and is detribalized, it means that everything that you have put into that thing belongs to everybody. But what he is coming from his own lungu, belongs to him. And when you speak, you're a tribalist, you're a bigot. My question is, why are you not just proud of what is yours and contribute it? I'll contribute what is mine. You can share what's mine. You can take. I don't mind sharing. It's just that you are not. You don't understand sharing. You are a thief, and the reason is because you have a scarcity mindset.
I think abundance. I can share. We can all.
You think scarcity. I think abundance. I can share. We can all win. We can all succeed. This is the politics of your people. Every time you do things is to corner everything and destroy people along the way and just make sure that you're the ones in charge. And everybody says the same thing about you. It's not that they are hating. I used to think they hated you, sincerely. I used to think, I was like, this is too much now. Until I read. And I was like, 1/10 of what I've read, I can't say.
Of what I have read about the activities of Igbo politicians in the 30s, 40s, 50s.
1/10 of what I have read about the activities of Igbo politicians in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, I can't say. Now, why can't I say it? Because the one where they talk, say they call me tribalist.
And guess what? I don't care. Because you know that I'm not even.
And guess what? I don't care.
You are a thief. Your definition of.
Because you know that I'm not even against you. It's just that you are a thief. Your definition of sharing is that you become the owner, or that you use my stuff without. Whenever you have a group of people who hate the idea of acknowledgement, responsibility, who would rather appropriate than acknowledge, that's a group of thieves. That's a group of thieves. People should be telling you, don't come to me and tell me about it. If there's any word I hate, like I said, I don't use the word hate frivolously, but if there's any word I hate, is the word detribalized. What does it mean? It means lose who you are and let me steal what you have. There's nothing like that.
You are the only group that has.
And Yoruba people are the only one that hear that message. You are the only group that has to bear with it. Tell this person to go to Kaduna and go and tell them. If he leaves that place with his head on his neck, that means he didn't go to Kaduna. He went to his own people there.
What audacity do you guys have to be pushing this nonsense?
You don't say this to the Northerners. What audacity do you guys have to be pushing this nonsense? You want to be detribalized? You are in 2025. Can you say this? Do you think an Irish person will say that to an English person, or an English person to the Irish, or English person to the Scottish? And by the way, I think we also have to maybe. Jesus is God. See, guys, this thing is not a Nigerian problem. It's not even a problem. It's not a Nigerian reality. It's a human reality. It's a question of identity. It's the definition of who you are in the world as you move through this earth. Who are you?
And the thing that the sense of identity that you have.
And the thing that the sense of identity that you have is what is removed in the name of being detribalized.
It's erasure.
Don't fall for it. It's not unity, it's erasure.
Unity is not threatened by uniqueness. Do you know what really is threatened?
Unity is not threatened by uniqueness. Do you know what really is threatened by uniqueness? Uniformity.
Do you know what?
What they are looking for is not unity. Do you know what? I've read materials on Nigerian politics, and I can tell you something. Since the 30s, one word that has continuously featured in our conversations has been a very interesting word called unity. People will kill and use the word unity. They will steal and use the word unity. They will appropriate and use the word unity.
Please always ask them what it means.
What? Whenever they use that word, please always ask them what it means. Do I want to unite with you? I think I'm actually united with you. It's just that you don't understand what unity means. You think unity means that I should allow you to take what doesn't belong to you. Unity for you means that you should be able to come to my place and do whatever you like. Meanwhile, this same person who is looking for unity, he will never allow a Fulani man to do that in his region. Is Fulani not a human being? I didn't want to ask Bishop because I've asked several of you. It's the same answer I get. Can a Fulani man come and own this thing? Can a Fulani man do this thing in the East? That's when you begin to hear nonsense. We don't mind unity, but we don't want erasure. And if you really are serious about this unity that, remove every tribe, let the person from Anambra and the person from Mbise and the person from Ebonyi, Abakaliki, let them be able to talk and say they are Igbo without anybody telling anyone that one person is better than the other. Even amongst your people, you don't have the same identity.
Think about it amongst a group. Every group has
Think about it for crying out loud. Amongst a group, you have, every group has issues. There's no perfect ethnic group in Nigeria. So I'm not throwing shades at anything. I'm just saying that if in your group, you are having to bicker about who is the real Igbo and who is not the real Igbo, and you're the only one who is always talking to us about uniting Nigeria. Have you even united your own group? Why not? Let's charity begin at home. Unite your people. Remove this difference where you are Ungwa, you are Ambise, you are Abakaliki, you are Wawa. Remove those things first. And I'm not even talking about Osu. I'm not talking about the caste system. That one is even second. That's even do worse. It's amazing. How do you gaslight? Do you know a lot of young people, a lot of young Nigerians are falling for this nonsense? We are detribalized. And the group that's always preaching that thing has structural problems at home. I'm going away from some things because somebody says I'm a boy. I think you just made a point. They came out the other day, say, they changed name of street in Lagos. They changed name of street. What happened to Abakaliki Road in Anambra? They changed the name of that place to Club Road. The first man that lived on that street was an Abakaliki man. Why did they change it? There was a woman who bought a house who bought land and built a house in Anambra. Why was her house demolished? Interesting personalities would never say anything about those people becoming. And guess what? These interesting personalities would never say anything about those people becoming one. Unite. Charity begins at home. I think we are united enough for Nigeria. There's nothing. What else? I think we are united enough for Nigeria. There's nothing. What else? Maybe I should even be asking people. What do people want? You are in local government. You are trading all over Nigeria. Nobody is chasing you away. Nobody has issues with you. Nobody is saying you cannot be here. Excuse me. Nobody is saying you cannot be here. Nobody's. You are selling and buying and living amongst the people. What else do you want? See, if this is coming from a people who have been denied of opportunities, who are not allowed in government circles, then you'll be like, oh, okay, that's why. But what is it? What does it mean? The idea of the tribalized unite, what does it mean? We listened to one of you guys last time. Billionaire, that victim thing is still there. It's the same region where a federal government parastatal had less than 900 posts, right? And of the 900, 65 went to Enugu, 811 went to Anambra. You are the one teaching me about the tribalized. Are you joking?
811 plus 65 is 876 out of less than 900.
811 plus 65 is 876 out of less than 900. Waiting remain one Anambra, one Bayelsa, one Guinea-Con, two, one across Nigeria. Are we joking? And do I have a problem with you having 811 Anambra people in your place? I don't. What's my business? See, anything you like to do at home, do it. It's your right. If they allow you, do it. But you have lost the right to be the one to be telling the rest of us how to live. Based on your own antecedents. Let's stop this thing. And if you notice, I'm also trying not to say some things because if you're looking for a trigger word, that's one of those trigger words, detribalize. I hate that word because those who use it share nothing with others. Then when you talk like say, oh, but we have somebody in our place, they'll be looking for this tokenism. They'll be giving tokenism. Oh, there is this person here that we know. There's this Yoruba person. One obscure example.
You have something to work together.
Unity means live, thrive. If we have something to work together to achieve, we'll work together. That's it. That's where it ends. Unity doesn't even allow you to get into my politics because your mindset is a mindset of a thief. And I say that with no apologies because there's a consistency to this madness since the 1930s. You can't continue like that. Change, evolve, like every other human being. Kai, the book I want to read, the first page I want to read itself, now something else. Okay. Let me just continue. We've been reading The Educated Elites in Nigerian Society by Ibi Ayodele. We're going to continue from there. Somebody says, then divide. Bishop, are you still there? Then divide Nigeria if you can't live with each other. Why should I be the one to divide Nigeria? You say you're a bishop. Do you not teach your members responsibility?
Why must you always beg people to
Are you a beggar?
Can't you do it?
Why must you always beg people to do for you what you really want done? Can't you do it? Are you incapacitated? Are you do you not have the same, do you not have a sound mind? Can't you do it? You have 58 representatives in Abuja, 15 senators for that small space, 15 senators, 43 representatives. That's 58. Are you really telling me that not one of the 58 can push this thing in the parliament?
Why must I be the one to help you divide it? What happened to your representatives?
Why must I be the one to help you divide it? What happened to your representatives? Are they not collecting money in Abuja? Are they not there with their friends? This clown calling himself bishop say no true Christian talk tribe. Here to talk about the Lion of the tribe of Judah. Are you dumb? You know what, guys? Give me a second. No, what tribe is Paul from? Bishop, be answering in the comments. I can't bring you up. You're just going to. We know Paul was from the tribe of Benjamin. What was it important for Paul to tell the world that was from the tribe of Benjamin? And yet you say no Christian can talk about tribe. I'm a Christian. Why is it that in the Old Testament all the priests must come from the tribe of Levi? Why?
If you are looking for a person to use Christianity to, it's not me.
If you are looking for a person to use Christianity to, it's not me. You've been reading this Bible before you were in that anyway. Some of you probably just jump from one beer parlor inside church. You carry Bible, say you are pastor. You are telling me. You are telling me that Christians don't talk about tribe. And yet, in trying to understand the lineage of Christ, we have to refer to his ethnicity, to his tribe. Why did Paul evoke his Roman citizenship when he was arrested by this and imprisoned by the centurion? Why? Again, if you're a Christian, you're Yoruba, and they bring all this nonsense about Christianity, they don't know jack. What he knows is the verse that will push his ethnic agenda, not the Bible. You want to tell me about the Bible? You know what? You say I should bring you up. Let me bring you up. Guys, let's have some relief. Oh boy, we don't carry title of bishop, but trust me. Bishop on Sunday school. In other words, when I was in Sunday school, I know more than. Where are you? Let me bring you up. You said that you want to come over, Abi? Come. But please, don't misuse Bible, because that one, if you cause fight.
Okay, I'm up. Thanks. How are you, Boosie? I'm back again.
Stop asking me how you have asked before. Continue. Say what you want to talk.
Okay. So you think after people became new creation, the plan and the purpose of God is for people to continue to fight along tribal lines? And you're telling me why Jesus... Bishop,
calm down. You're not going to die. Calm down. Make your point. Don't tell me what I'm telling you if I'm not...
Disrespecting me.
Because you should be disrespected.
Yeah, because
I'm actually holding myself back.
Disrespected.
And disrespect me now.
Why should I hold myself back?
Because I want to assume you are a human being. Because this one you are doing now, you are not talking as a human being. You are human, right?
No, you who disrespect people and insult them in your dialect, is it proper?
I brought you up because I thought you had something sensible to say. Calm your nerves. Calm your nerves. Say what you want to say. I'm not going to drop you. I want you to speak. You said Christians don't talk about tribe. I'm asking you, why did Paul say it was from the tribe of Benjamin? You said something about the new creation. Was Paul not a new creation at the time he was talking about being from the tribe of Benjamin? Why do we say Jesus is the Lion of the tribe of Judah? How many tribes come out of Jacob? Let's talk Bible, but don't come and be shouting as if this is not on the Champion market. Let's talk like sensible human beings, okay? So you can unmute now. Let's talk. You feel unmute so that you just open your mic. But I said I don't cause. Okay.
Only if you know I don't even know Southeast or go to Southeast. But because you're such a tribal bigot, you think anybody you meet must be from Onitsha or from.
For decades, cause of Nigerians of different ethnic labels had been living in.
The speaker, for decades, cause of Nigerians of different ethnic labels had been living in harmony in the big cities all over the country. True, they are town or ethnic organizations, but these were not performing political functions as such. Invariably, people of different ethnic groups live together under the same roof, successfully behaving to one another as good neighbors, hardly ever parading their tribal labels in any offensive manner. What changed this? So remember what he says. Again, this is The Educated Elite in the Nigerian Society by E.B. Ayondele. This book was published in 1974. It says that for decades, scores of Nigerians of different ethnic labels had been living in harmony in the big cities all over the country. Then it says, true, they had town or ethnic organizations, but these were not performing political functions as such. Invariably, people of different ethnic groups lived together under the same roof successfully, behaving to one another as good neighbors, hardly ever parading their tribal labels in any offensive manner. The question is, what changed? What changed? So I'm going to read two sources to explain what changed. This book, I'll read the first one, then I'm going to read from Adeola Dutola's speech. And this is what he says here. He says, whilst the nucleus of the Igbo State Union had been founded in Calabar in 1936, that is a year before his return from a self-imposed exile in the Gold Coast, that's Ghana, Nnamdi Azikiwe became the symbol of a truly menacing Igbo ethnomania. When was this? 1937. Don't be listening to people that be shouting their bishop, their pastor. I mean, again, I have to be careful because it's people like you that actually make you know what? Let him be doing comment in the comment section. If you really think I was insulting you in Yoruba language, if I want to insult you, I don't have to speak Yoruba.
If you hear me speak Yoruba,
if you hear me speak Yoruba, I'm bringing myself back in. If I want to insult you, I will say it in Igbo and in English language. You will hear. What's the essence of me insulting you if you don't understand? I don't insult. That's the point. But if you want some, continue in the comment section. I will not even me go insult you. People will go insult you, but I don't want me to insult you. More just continue. Here's the point. Zeke returned in 1937 and began to show what this man called a truly menacing Igbo ethnomania. Your father speaks fluent Yoruba. I'm going to take care of Nigeria to your long. Do you want to go and bring your daddy to come and speak to me now? Since your father speaks Yoruba, do you want to bring your dad? Meanwhile, I just remember somebody wrote a Revelation 7 verse, and I just remembered right now where the Bible says that He has brought us from different tongue and tribe. In fact, let me read it to you. Where's my Bible? I think there's one here. You know what? Let me know. I'll come back to what I was reading. We'll explain again. But let me just say to us, Yoruba people, especially Christians. They are Christians in Germany. They are Germans and they are proud. They are Christians in England. They are English and they are proud. Let me even tell you one funny thing. It was Richard Dawkins. I was talking about this last year. Something is brewing in England, and even atheists are talking about the importance of church, if as nothing as culture of the people. This idea of using Christian, and he's doing that because he's trying to reclaim his Englishness in the face of what's happening from people from Pakistan, from the Middle East. And they're saying they want to reclaim their identity. In other words, ethnicity is important even... Sorry, guys. Bishop, that what you just wrote, that's your dad.
You look like somebody that's...
You look like somebody that's... God. But what you just wrote now, that's your dad. That's your dad. Because, I don't think there's exchange word with you.
Just thank your stars, man.
Oh, God. Just thank your stars, man. Thank your stars. Thank your stars. I would have sent you to your father that refused to raise you properly. I would have sent you to him in 1 second. The things you're writing. Just thank your stars. Right now, your dad will be on this live talking to me. But thank your stars. I want to read the scripture. Revelation 7 verse 9. After these things, I looked, and behold, on YouTube. After these things I looked, and behold, a great multitude which no one could number, of all nations, tribes, peoples, and tongues, standing before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes, with palm branches in their hands. Revelation 7 verse 9. On the last day, all tribes, there is no to tribalize anybody. To buy son or son of a If you're a Christian, don't let anybody gaslight you with Christianity. Use Christianity. I'm a Christian and I'm a proud Christian. But guess what? I'm Yoruba. I'm not the tribalized Christian. I'm a Yoruba and I'm a Christian. And both are not incompatible. Even God recognizes. Bible says in Acts that he himself designed the boundaries of different nations. Nobody, if you, because again, I think this is also a problem for Yoruba Christians, right? Then what you should do, Christianity will show in the way you do it, not in the fact that you will stop being Yoruba because you want to prove a point that you're a Christian to another brother who doesn't understand boundaries. Let me read that scripture on boundaries. Sorry guys, we are going to church. If I don't be sorry, you are going to like it. I'll find the scripture. It's in the book of Acts.
If they don't use killing, they'll use religion, they'll use this, they'll use that, because we're all Christians.
They'll come, if they don't use killing, they'll use religion, they'll use this, they'll use that, because we're all Christians. Acts 17 verse 26. And he, speaking of God, has made from one blood every nation of men to dwell on all the face of the earth, and he has determined their pre-appointed times and the boundaries of their dwellings.
Where you are from, they didn't teach you that.
If where you are from, they didn't teach you that, and you think being a Christian means the erasure of uniqueness, then you don't know who you are dealing with. Why did we have the kind of change that happened in the late 19th century in Yoruba land? Christians in Europe, this is over 100 years ago. It's not retards that will be coming here to be telling you about Bible that you don't know.
Because we don't carry title.
Tell me about Christianity and tribes. Kilo more. Because we don't carry title. Bishop of what?
Towards the late 19th century, Yoruba Christians began to work on...
Towards the late 19th century, Yoruba Christians began to work on asserting their Yorubaness without denying their Christian faith. And guess what? They succeeded. By 1901, they created the African church in Breadfruit. It's in Lagos Island. It's still there. 1901. At that time, your people were just becoming Christians, thanks to the work of people like Ajay Crowther.
Guys, I hate when people use faith to steal things. They'll look for
Guys, I hate when people use faith to steal things.
money, prayer.
They'll look for verses that people like this is money, prayer, those kind of things. I think
God.
if they are dull.
God recognizes, by the way,
God. All right. God recognizes, by the way, Yoruba is not a tribe. It's an ethnic nation. And I'll say it several times, sovereignty is not what grants you nationality. Sovereignty doesn't necessarily grant you nationality. You are a nation regardless of sovereignty. For instance, in the UK right now, Scotland is seen as a nation, but it has no sovereignty. There's no sovereign nation called Scotland. The UK is made up of 4 separate nations: England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. They are not independent of each other in terms of sovereignty. Yoruba is a nation, a sovereign space that is even bigger than Nigeria in terms of its scope. We have people in different other parts of the world. The point is that God recognizes our differences. He recognizes that we are all different. He wants us to do well. And what my fathers did in the late 19th century is not retards that came out of some bush last year that will be telling me about what Christianity really means. Do you know what they did? They said, we're going to sing Yoruba songs. We're going to preach in Yoruba language. Similar to what Martin Luther had done in Germany. When he said, we're not just using Latin to preach, we want to be able to use the language of the common people. Because before then, it was all about Latin. Latin was it was the language of the Vatican, of Roman Catholic Church.
Asserting his German heritage,
and so he rediscovered that by asserting his German heritage and also holding on to his Christian values and Christian faith. That's what my own fathers did in the late 19th century. Where were your parents then? Sorry.
Please repeat the sovereignty phrase. I said, how did I say it? I said nationality.
Please repeat the sovereignty phrase. I said, how did I say it? I said nationality. Let me say it another way. Nationality is not synonymous. Is not necessarily synonymous with sovereignty. You don't need sovereignty in order to assert nationality. Sovereignty doesn't necessarily confer nationality on you. Right? In other words, you are a nation whether or not you are sovereign. And if as a Yoruba person you don't even appreciate that, then it may be very difficult for you to even attain sovereignty. The point basically is that Yoruba people are not one tribe just hidden somewhere. We are a nation with several tribes within the Yoruba space, within the Yoruba identity or Yoruba nation. So we are a nation right now. Whether we have a passport that says Yoruba nation or not, it's a nation. Just like Scotland is a nation today, whether there is a passport saying Scotland or not. It's part of the UK, but it's a nation.
DJ Solution Keys, you are very senseless.
DJ Solution Keys, you are very senseless.
Maybe this is how you talk to your parents at home. Just come out and say people are
some of you, I don't know how you get this audacity. Maybe this is how you talk to your parents at home. Just come out and say people are senseless if you don't think Nigeria must break. Are you dumb?
People are senseless because they don't agree with what you are saying.
How do you use words like this? People are senseless because they don't agree with what you are saying. You are the senseless one now. I don't care if you're Yoruba because you want. Another thing, you think that because you're Yoruba, you can just come and type anything you like. If you're Yoruba, to whom much is given, much is expected. To whom brain is given, sense is expected. Stop being stupid in the comment section because you're Yoruba.
The point is that.
Where was I? I must finish what I'm saying. The point is that even in Christian circles, when we talk about certain churches, we think of certain nations. If I mention Lutheran Church, let's even do this very quick exercise. If I mention Lutheran Church, what's the name of the country that comes to mind? If I mention Lutheran, I don't know if anybody knows about this thing, Sha. If I mention Lutheran Church, this is Christianity. We're just doing small Christian talk because these things are not usually answered, especially by pastors. Maybe they're also trying to, I don't know, German. So if I say Lutheran Church, you think of Germany. Thank you. If I mention Church of England, well, I mean, the answer is already there. If you say Church of England, I'm sure you know Of course, that's England. If I mention Presbyterian Church, what's the country that comes to mind?
If I say Presbyterian, there's a church that.
Thank you, yes. Anglican Church of England, English, yes. If I say Presbyterian, there's a church that a church will come to mind. Scotland, thank you. If I say Reformed, well, it's not as popular, but I think it's popular among certain people. You should know it. I mean, if I say Reformed, you think of Geneva. That's John Calvin. The point is that even amongst us as Christians, we know that certain groups created certain flavor. Whether it's the Anabaptists or if I say Methodism, for instance, you think of a particular place, right? If I say Methodism, you think of England, right? The point is that we are Christians doesn't mean that our uniqueness should be lost. If I mention CNS, what will you think of? Let me even ask. If I say we've talked about Anabaptists, we've talked about Baptist is not started in USA or started in Europe. I just started in the UK. The same way, it's not Nigeria, it's Yoruba, SED lines, that's the mistake. When I said Methodism, you said England. You didn't say the UK. When I said CNS, you said Nigerian. Why would you say Nigeria? Why not Yoruba?
If I mention Celestial Church, if I mention CAC,
it's Yoruba. If I mention Celestial Church, if I mention CAC, if I mention Redeemed, and I'm not trying to use tribe to destroy anything. Flavor will reflect in your faith. Unless you have become, unless you were made a tabula rasa, that you had nothing, they just imprinted something on you. That's why we thought the English we speak in our churches in Yoruba land. We play Yoruba music. We play gangan. You don't see gangan inside the Church of England.
in the Anglican Church in Yoruba land. Why? Because your cultural expression will
But you see gangan in the Anglican Church in Yoruba land. Why? Because your cultural expression will show in what you're doing. Well, when you become a detribalized thing, what does that mean? You lose all those things because you are trying to please another ethnic group who are very proud, by the way, of their own cultural expressions. Even though we know what this is. I was born in CNS. I'm very proud of being Yoruba. I'm a charismatic Pentecostal. I'm very proud of being Yoruba. They are not, there's what I'm looking for. Jeez, I can't believe I forgot that word. It's one simple word. It starts with an I. The point is that they can exist together at the same time. God bless you. They're not mutually exclusive. It's not with an I, it's with a hem. Thank you for helping me. They're not mutually exclusive.
So when people come in the name of being bishop or whatever, and they start telling you things about.
So when people come in the name of being bishop or whatever, and then they start telling you things about, we are, as a Christian, you cannot be talking about tribe. Ask him, where is Jesus from?
I did a session.
Ask him where Paul is from. Again, I did a session a long time ago. Was Paul a Yoruba man? I put it in the Telegram. I put it in. It's on the YouTube channel. If you study Paul, you almost think he was Yoruba. I'm not saying ethnically. I'm talking about the way he moved. He wasn't ashamed. This was a man that's called the apostle to the Gentiles. When he's with them, I tell you, there's neither Jew nor Greek. But that's to get all of us to Christ. But in actual fact, when it comes to things that have to be done, he will tell you that I'm from the tribe of Benjamin. When I was talking to his own people, the Hebrews, he said, I'm a Hebrew of Hebrews. Pertaining to the law, guiltless, or without guile. That is a Christian. So I cannot say I'm Yoruba because it will not look like I'm really a Christian. So all of us want to be comfortable around each other now, because meanwhile, this clown will hear that somebody is English and Christian. He has no problem with it. Why? Because the person is white. Now, if you are white, you are higher than them.
Understand this thing. They are not mutually exclusive. You are a Christian.
You've got to really understand this thing. They are not mutually exclusive. You are a Christian. You are a staunch. You are a proud Yoruba man. Can discuss Yoruba philosophy. I can tell you things that are inside Yoruba, and I'm still a Christian by faith, in my faith and my spirituality. My spirituality is Christian. My philosophy is a potpourri of different things. There's Greek in it, there's Yoruba in it, there's English in it, because of course we are exposed to different things. But it's important to say these things. Be proud. You go to, there's a church in Ikorodu, I won't mention the ethnic group. They overtook that church, brought in equipment from their hometown. That's the only thing they play in that church today. It's an Anglican church. And the people are not Yoruba. If actually no, this is part of the session. Trust me, it's part of the lecture. I'm not doing this because, again, make no mistakes that I'm doing this because somebody came here. I'm doing this because it's important to be said, especially to Yoruba Christians.
And they say this to the British.
Our fathers made it very clear. And they said this to the British. And we're going to have a session where I'm going to discuss these things. When they say having issues with the fact that the first African bishop, by the way, Ajayi Crowther was the very first African to become a bishop in CMS, in the Anglican Church. By the time they had issues with him and taking orders from him, the Yoruba brothers start speaking up. Why do you have issues with this person if we are all brothers in Christ? That means that there's something about your identity that is somewhere in there. And they made it very clear. We're Christians who believe in this thing. This is our faith, but we're Yoruba. And they change a lot of things in that sense. And that's the thing that Christians who are Yoruba should understand. Don't hate anybody. I'm not hating you. I don't have any problem with you. But that I will lose what I have that my parents gave to me because I am a Christian, or because we are all in one Nigeria. That will not happen. I can share with you, but I will stop sharing once I discover that you really want to steal, because that's your.
So defend your faith as a Christian.
That's your real goal. So defend your faith as a Christian. And again, there are some extreme who say, if you're Yoruba, you cannot be a Christian. You don't know anything. Someone was writing on YouTube earlier today, all this foreign religion. Christianity is not a foreign religion in Yoruba land. If you know the work that has been done in the last 100 years to domesticate Christianity, you will never say it's a foreign religion. If you cannot call Christianity a foreign religion in England, you can't call it a foreign religion in Yoruba land. Because people think of England now and say, oh, Christianity is England, is English religion. They are the ones that own it. They don't own it. It got to them. They domesticated it. It got to us. We domesticated it.
And we say things that a Christian from another nation may not understand.
And so you can have us speak, for instance, and we say things that a Christian from another nation may not understand, because even if we are speaking English language, our frame of reference is Yoruba. These things are deeper than all this be the tribalized because you're a Christian. That's why I could not say, are we not all one Nigeria?
Did you know what he did?
Not that kind of one Nigeria, be detribalized. Are you not a Did you know what he did? Did you notice what he did? He started with being Nigeria. That did not work. He now said Christian. He now used Christian. Maybe because he saw something on my bio. Christians are not supposed to be like this. I'm a Christian, I'm proud. The best I can do for you as a Christian is to love you. But if you think loving you means you can steal from me, maybe you should go and steal from your parents first. God bless you as you steal. But He will not even bless you. You will be cursed. I'll read a few scriptures and I'm going to move on very quickly. And this is for Christians amongst us. And by the way, this applies to all of us. Whether you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're a traditional religious worshipper, all of us. This is Yoruba land we're talking about. This is not any other ethnicity in Nigeria. For us in Yoruba land, our ethnicity is paramount. We're not judging ourselves based on, are you a Christian? Are you a Muslim? I'm a Yoruba Christian. You're a Yoruba Muslim. I'm against you. No, we don't think like that. So our ethnicity is very, very paramount. And that's how we've been able to build what we've been able to build, even though we have a lot of work to do. But the little we have was built by our parents and those who are our forebears based on their understanding of their own identity, regardless of the religion they professed. And many of them profess different religions, even in the days of yore. But Christians will be able to relate with this a bit more. So let me just read a few things. God, the Bible says, He divided the earth. Remember, these are the families of the sons of Noah, according to the generations in the nations. And from these nations were divided on the earth after the flood. There's something I wanted to read. Okay, I read it already. Acts 17, Revelation 7. Yeah, found it. Daniel 7, verse 14. Then to Him was given dominion and glory, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve Him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and His kingdom the one which shall not be destroyed. nations, languages. Don't lose your own. So if God, when God comes, there will not be, you'll not be lost. That we're not looking for you. You have nothing to. Where are the Christians from Yoruba land? Ah, they are the tribalized. Oh, okay, we don't know where they are. When I come to in jail, you don't know how. Anyone say, but be fair to everyone, love everybody, right? Be fair. No. Love everyone. I'm trying not to break it down. But don't let anybody steal from you in the name of Christianity. What they are preaching is not Christianity. What they are preaching is ethnic supremacy, quoted as Christianity. How do I know that? History tells us that much. Let me get back to the book now. So we said here, we're reading The Educated Elite in Nigerian Society, and the man here says, for decades, scores of Nigerians, excuse me,
Somebody wrote on YouTube says, our forefathers knew Jesus.
Somebody wrote on YouTube says, our forefathers knew Jesus. See, one day we'll talk about this, our exposure to Christianity, because we need to be understanding.
Portugal in the 17th and 18th centuries.
These guys were sending people to Portugal in the 17th and 18th centuries.
And their crowns started reflecting it because they are adapted under culture.
And some of them were Christians. And their crowns started reflecting it because they are adapted under culture.
17th century.
And that same Christianity found its way inland into Ife as at the 17th century. This was
more than 150 years.
Let me say it this way. This was more than 150 years. What am I saying?
Almost 200 years before Ajayi Crowther then took that gospel to...
Almost 200 years before Ajayi Crowther then took that gospel to the Southeast.
Has also happened in Igbo land in a different...
And what happened in Yoruba land has also happened in Igbo land in a different... Kenisha, where they are also
influence of Igbo language in most
South. The influence of Igbo language happened because of what I'm about to say. The Yoruba people
asserting their ethnic identity and all of
asserting their own, asserting their ethnic identity and all of those things. Start using language, right? Translate the Bible into Yoruba language. What these detribalized people need to understand, or they are even lying. Did it in their space, but they now carry this into different places where they had people, thereby turning those places into Igbo speaking, even though they were not originally Igbo speaking. The Bible was in Igbo language, the prayer song was in Igbo language, the book was in Igbo language. Why did they do that? Because the ones that took that thing to them discovered that, listen, we've got to do things in our own native language, not just English language.
It's not because that place is talking about is ethnically Igbo. It's because Igbo became the main language. If you want to know what's saying,
and that's why he will come up and tell you that it's from Port Harcourt, but it's Igbo. It's not because that place is talking about is ethnically Igbo. It's because Igbo became the main language. If you want to know what I'm saying, read this book, Sunset in Biafra by Elechi Amadi. It will explain to you what happened between the 1940s and 1960s. The movement into that place from the east was actually in the 1940s.
They overwhelmed the entire space. To the point
and
where
because by sheer numbers, they overwhelmed the entire space. To the point where people started speaking Pidgin Igbo.
The Anioma area.
The same experience you will find in the Anioma area,
Igbo names. Their towns became Igbo towns.
Where the Olukumi will use, some of them will have Igbo names. Their towns became Igbo names. Because again, they had worked together and become, they had become assimilated or acculturated, in that space. What are we hearing right now? They are saying to you now that those ones came to meet them there.
Even your own history tells you
they came to meet you there, but you call them the owners of the land by calling them Odiani. Even your own history tells you are lying. And you find these lies everywhere you go.
Different ethnic labels had been living in harmony in
For decades, scores of Nigerians of different ethnic labels had been living in harmony in the big cities all over the country. True, they had town or ethnic organizations, but these were not performing political functions as such. Invariably, people of different ethnic groups lived together under the same roof, successfully, behaving to one another as good neighbors, hardly ever parading their tribal labels in any offensive manner. So I was saying earlier that originally people didn't put Yoruba, it was just Nigerian. And the first set of nationalists in Nigeria were Yoruba people. And they were thinking about the country and the continent, Nigeria and Africa. Nigeria and Africa. Every time a person travels from Yoruba land to, say, England or Scotland, to the UK anyway, or to the US, they'll say a Nigerian has gone there, the first African to do this, and all of that. Things began to change in 37. What happened in 37? Let me quickly read this one and I'll explain something to you. Whilst the nucleus of the Igbo State Union had been founded in Calabar in 1936, that is a year before his return from a self-imposed exile in the Gold Coast, Nnamdi Azikiwe became the symbol of a truly menacing Igbo ethnomania. Irrespective of what he said or might have wished, the fact was that the party which he led from 1946 to 1960, the National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons, was seen by other major ethnic groups as the political organization of the Igbo, and that it was predominantly from this major tribe in southern Nigeria that he obtained his political support. 37 was when Azikiwe returned from Ghana. As soon as he returned, they brought him into the Nigerian Youth Movement, which had been established in 1934. There was going to be an election in 37, and then Zik worked with them. By 38, he saw something different. While everybody would say the first Nigerian, the first African to do this, Zik started telling us that it was an Igbo person doing something. Jaja Wachuku, the first Igbo to go to this, Francis Ibiam, the first Igbo this, the first Igbo that. The concept of tribalism was not even known in Nigerian politics before Zik, until Zik. But it's that same Zik and his cohorts that tell you that everybody is a tribalist, but they are Pan-African and Pan-Nigerian. Is a lie. And let me read to you all this thing of Pan-Nigerianism, what it was like in 1940. It was so bad that by September of 1940, the NYM was going to expel Zik. And they called him for a meeting. And in that meeting, they asked him why he should still remain a member of the NYM. And while they were talking, Timothy Odutola had something to say that I think reverberates through time. He said it in September of 1940, but he might as well be saying it today. I'm going to find it and read it to you.
Before I read that, let me first read something on what I was saying earlier.
Before I read that, let me first read something on what I was saying earlier.
I said before that the CKC.
This is how I was speaking. I said. Sorry, please. We are having inactivity on TikTok.
On TikTok, please power tap. They went to Lagos Island to play with St. Gregory's College.
If you're on TikTok, please power tap. They went to Lagos Island to play with St. Gregory's College. And the match ended 5-4. This was August of 1940. Forget all this thing of 2025, the Clinic is a lie. August of 1940. Let me quickly read to you what Zik said about that simple match between secondary school students.
The match was called Win the War Football Match, right?
The match was called Win the War Football Match, right? The CKC team from Onitsha defeated St. Gregory's team by 5-4. I'm trying to find I found what Zik actually said. So this is what Zik said. And then to think of the great combination of the Spartan heroes who crossed the lordly Niger, journeyed through the good earth of Benin, hurried across the domains of the Oshemawe of Ondo, of the Atanla of Owo, of the Owa of Ilesha, of the Oni of Ife, of the Alaki of Abeokuta in their invasion of these islands, Afubotimo, in their invasion of these islands. Who but heroes of mighty brawn and exceptionally developed brain would have dared to make this invasion and to succeed in carrying to their River Niger home the golden fleece of intercollegiate soccer championship of the eastern and western provinces. Yet they came to Lagos. They saw the irresistible defense put up by their opponents, and they conquered impressively, convincingly, and were graceful even in victory. Could their achievement be paralleled? Would it not be better for me to leave the answer to the lapse of the gods? That's Zik reporting a simple match between two secondary schools. But the Igbos won because they had exceptionally developed brains. The funny thing is that same month, that happened earlier, but in August of 1940, they now went to Ibadan to play a match against Olubadan 11, and those ones beat them 3-2. Zik did not report that one. When was this? 1940. So Zik was dedicated to pushing his own people. And you see, of course, you see it as we go on. I'm going to tell you what he did. I want to do it year by year, so I won't jump any year. By September of 1940, they were tired because, number one, he was involved in anti-party activities. He was pushing his ethnic group, which is not a bad, but at the detriment of other groups. He was changing the dynamics of the place by saying one was any issue they had, they would resort to tribal reasons, which is what you still find in Nigerian politics today, including the video I played last week, of course, Masmatuka, talking about the fact that Dangote had something. This is what the Igbo people want, as though he had not enjoyed certain things, before then. You see, by September, by the way, I was saying in August, he didn't report what happened with the Ibadan team after the Ibadan beat them, and they had to ask him to publish it. Eventually, after 2 weeks, he published that news, but he put it in a very small corner at the back page. And even in that news, he also now explained that the people from Onitsha, the boys from Onitsha, were too tired. I wondered how you got tired traveling to Ibadan, but you're not tired going to Lagos. It's quite interesting. But that's Zik, being Zik. Came to a head in September of 1940, and they called a meeting, and this is what Senator Dutola said. And by the way, this thing also applies to what's happening in today's politics. With all this new Kinikon is possible. It was new. It's New Nigeria now. It used to be New Africa. There's a book that Zik published in 1937. The book is called The Renaissance Africa. An interesting book, filled with Pan-African ideals, but the person who wrote that thing wasn't thinking Pan-African at all. Let me read to you what Odutola said, then I'll tell you why I think it was not Pan-African. This is what Odutola said in 1940. And this corroborates what this man said in The Educated Elite, when he said, for decades, scores of Nigerians of different ethnic labels had been living together in harmony in big cities. This is what Odutola said. The confusion and tribal hates that were then rearing their heads, in the country are the products of Dr. Azikiwe's New Africa. During the days of our old Africa, Chief Odutola remarked, the Igbos and Yorubas lived together as Nigerians. It seems to me, therefore, that the remedy for the present troubles is this. Azikiwe has brought his New Africa from America. He should return it there either by post or by taking it back there personally. If need be, his passage to and fro should be paid by the movement. But mark this, he concluded, unless this Azikiwe's brand of New Africa is done away with, there will be no harmony in this country.
That's the New Africa that caused the coup now. Unitary system, we are all one.
That's the New Africa that caused the coup now.
It's the same that they're telling
Unitary system, we are all one.
We are all one.
It's the same that they're telling you today, be detribalized, we are all one. A new Nigeria is possible. It's not new. They're not looking for a new Nigeria.
Of 1960 to 1964, that's what people are looking for.
They are looking for the Nigeria of the 1960 of 1960 to 1964. That's what people are looking for.
Where we talked about,
and if you want to know what happened then, please watch one of the videos we have on YouTube where we talked about what's the title? Achebe, meritocracy or nepotism. You see the breakdown of what happened between 1960 and 1964. And they had another opportunity between January and July of 1966. That's the definition of a new Nigeria. It's not all these fantastic things that you are hearing. All these things are just empty, But of course, they say it because who doesn't like to hear good things? That was in 1940. Now let me read to you what Azikiwe said in 1949. I think I should read 48 before 49, since we are going. Shouldn't be lower, Sha. 1 second, please. I don't want to go back to everything we've discussed because I'm just trying to make a point with the things that we're hearing these days. You know what? I think I should just open this other one. 1 second, please. I know where it is. I'm going to read something from West African Pilots. That was the newspaper that Azikiwe himself published. Let's first read.
Let me first read Awol's thoughts.
Let me first read Awol's thoughts.
I was certain in my own mind that Dr. Azikiwe was not a
By the end of August 1940, I was certain in my own mind that Dr. Azikiwe was not a conscientious member of the Nigerian youth movement, and that for some reasons best known to himself, he was bent on destroying this nationalist organization. At the same time, it seemed clear to me that his policy was to corrode the self-respect of the Yoruba people as a group, to build up the Igbos as a master race, to magnify his own vaunted contributions to the nationalist struggles, to dwarf and misrepresent the achievements of his contemporaries, and to discount and nullify the humble but sterling quota which older politicians had made to the country's progress. Other incidents which happened thereafter merely went to strengthen my beliefs. But was Awo right? Could Awo have been lying? Papa didn't lie, but let's assume that we don't want to take his word for it. So what we'll do is this. I would, by the way, but because some of you are from different in Aba, then he published it in his paper. It would appear that the God of Africa has specially created the Igbo nation to lead the children of Africa from the bondage of the ages. This is a Pan-African that says all of us are detribalized. We're all detribalized, but God has specially created your own ethnic group to deliver the rest of us.
Because the spirit is still alive. That's what you are seeing from people writing things in comment.
Why am I reading this? Because the spirit is still alive. That's what you are seeing from people writing things in the comment section. It is 2025. Why are we talking about tribalism? Tell him to forget being Igbo. All right, let me read to you. Where is it? Okay. It would appear that the God of Africa has specially created the Igbo nation to lead the children of Africa from the bondage of the ages. The martial prowess of the Igbo nation at all stages of human history has enabled them not only to conquer others, but also to adapt themselves to the role of preserver. The Igbo nation cannot shirk its responsibility. Politically, you have seen with your own eyes how you were disenfranchised by the British. The Igbo nation has never been represented in the Executive Council. Economically, the Igbo nation has labored under onerous taxation measures without sufficient social amenities to justify, and so on and so forth. It would now, on one hand, they are the special, why is this thing dark? They're the special people that God specially created. On the other hand, they are the victim of everybody. And that's what you see here today. We are better than all of you. But you're not allowing us to get some things done. You're not allowing meritocracy. You're not allowing us, you're not giving us level playing field.
All of those things.
You are marginalizing us. All of those things. In case you are from the Southeast, you're not the one speaking. It's Zeke talking through you.
And for me, I think it's even what happened the year prior that.
And for me, I think it's even what happened the year prior that makes you start wondering, why would Zeke do something like that? Where
creating an organization for themselves.
The Yoruba people were creating an organization for themselves.
The Igbos had one. Yoruba decided to create
the Ibibio had one, the Igbos had one, the Yoruba decided to create one for themselves, and then Zeke got very angry.
That same paper,
and he wrote in his paper, that same paper, in 1948. I'm going to find what he wrote and then read it in your hearing. 1 second, please.
So when you hear that,
let me read to you what Zeke said about what Yoruba people were doing. So when you hear that, you want to have a situation where, oh dear, no, not here.
So it says martial prowess how?
Someone says martial prowess how? So
Whatever you say about you.
martial prowess.
Who am I?
I mean, whatever you say about you, I mean, who am I to say you are lying?
I want to read to you what Zeke said in 1948. By the way,
I want to read to you what Zeke said in 1948. By the way, you may want to say, oh, but this is in the past.
Only that it isn't.
Yeah.
The things he did,
Only that it isn't. The things he did, the things he said are being done all over again. If on YouTube, please like the live. Please just double tap on your screen on YouTube. And that's why you have liked the live. Thank you very much for your support. If you're on TikTok, please let's keep our tapping. Facebook, please share the live as well. Thank you. This is what Zeke wrote about Ẹgbẹ́ Ọmọ-Odùduwà in 1948. Or watch the editorial article of the West African Pilot, September 8, 1948. But now that the Egbe has made it, and even against Igbos as a group, but against the aspirations of the 27 million Nigerians backing up the NCNC, the time has come for real action. Henceforth, the cry must be one of battle against the Ẹgbẹ́ Ọmọ-Odùduwà, its leaders, at home and abroad, uphill and downdale, in the streets of Nigeria and in the residence of its advocates. The Ẹgbẹ́ Ọmọ-Odùduwà is the enemy of Nigeria. It must be crushed to the earth. There is no going back until the fascist organization of Sir Adeyemo Alakija has been dismembered. That's the person who is detribalized. But it was the head of the Igbo Federal Union. But it was calling for people to attack Yoruba people for creating their own Ẹgbẹ́ Ọmọ-Odùduwà in Yoruba land. Meanwhile, he's the head of Igbo Federal Union in Yoruba land. But it's against Yoruba people having their own ethnic association in Yoruba land. Why? I thought you wouldn't ask. Let's read 2 more books on that matter. First, we'll go back to Ayodele's book. By the way, people were attacked physically because of what was published. And I think I should just read that one. Apart from newspaper attacks, there were also physical assaults on the persons of the leaders of the Egbe and damage to the houses and other property of some of them. It was absolutely impossible on nationalist grounds to reconcile Dr. Azikiwe's insensate hostility to the Egbe with his presidentship of the Igbo Federal Union and his obvious condonation of the existence of a similar organization founded in the Northern region in May 1948 and called Jamiya Mutanen Arewa, Northern People's Congress. Besides, in spite of his protestations to the contrary, Dr. Azikiwe was himself an unabashed Igbo jingoist. And we know that from the speech he gave in 1949, that God has specially made his ethnic group. But while God is specially making your ethnic group, the rest of us should forget who we are and become detribalized. Thank you, Gorilla. It's good to see you. Thank you for Otojo Beta.
We are on topic, but I'm also responding to that nonsense called detribalization.
We are on topic, but I'm also responding to that nonsense called detribalization.
People who say it are thieves.
There's nothing so called.
Let me put it this way, there are usually 2.
The people who say it are thieves and rogues. Let me put it this way, there are usually 2. The naive ones and the manipulative ones. The naive ones are just like, mostly are Yorubas. Very naive. They don't even know that they have something that other people want. Just naively say, it doesn't matter now. We don't want Nigeria. I am one Nigeria, but I'm Yoruba, and they're not mutually exclusive.
They know they are thieves.
The other group are the manipulators. Those ones, they know they are thieves. They know what they are going for. They will tell you Pan-Nigerian, Pan-African, but God has specially created their own ethnic group, and they are better than everybody in Nigeria.
Let's go back to this. So he says, the people had town or ethnic organizations.
Let's go back to this. So he says, the people had town or ethnic organizations. I'll go back to the book, The Educated Elite in the Nigerian Society by Ibi Ayondele. For decades, scores of Nigerians of different ethnic labels had been living in harmony in the big cities all over the country. True, they had town or ethnic organizations, but these were not performing political functions as such. Now, that was before Zig and his people introduced politics into simple town union. How do I know that? Work with me. We're doing a recap of what we did the other day. Work with me to listen. Well, we're going to listen to me read Anthony Naro's speech, August 1968, and it says here, the first ethnic cultural organization, the Ibibio Union, was born at this time. The union was actually born in this. They started the Ibibio Union in 1928. The Igbos started, I mean, the Urobo, I think was 31, Igbos was 36, and different groups like that. There were other groups between 28 and 36, many groups, but Yoruba was not one of them. We didn't create anything for ourselves until 1945 in London. 47 inauguration in Ife, and then in 48 was established in Lagos, and that was when Zik and his people got very angry with the fact that Yoruba people had the audacity to create their own Yoruba association in Yoruba land. And guess what Zik did? We've talked about it before. Zik decided to work with some Yoruba people to create a parallel organization called Yoruba Federal Union. The crazy part is that you will always have some Yoruba people who are not just naive, some of us are just blessed. You must work with an outsider because you have an issue with things. I've said several times, if a Yoruba person is doing something, and the goal is for Yoruba people, you don't have to be a part of it, but don't go against it. But Zik had some of those people, and some of them were the same people that would attack the houses, the homes of Egbe Motudua's leaders in Lagos, in the name of being detribalized. But why was Zik against Egbe Motuduwa? Because Yoruba people are the only ones, in terms of exposure, in terms of, thank you, education, in terms of whatever you want to think of, that can stop the goal they created in 1944, which was the domination of the entire country. That's why. But the question is, how did that affect the rest of Nigeria? You see it in this speech I'm about to read now. It says here, the first ethnic cultural organization, by the way, let me say this. I'm not saying Igbo people today did anything. I'm saying in history, certain people do certain things, and those things brought us where we are right now. We're not doing this to even blame those people. We're saying that we have to acknowledge what happened so that we can correct those things. So this is not Igbos are bad, Igbos are this. That is not what this is. I'm not involved in that kind of thing. We're saying that certain people have done certain things, and their children are insulting us, blaming us for what their parents did. So it's important to highlight what actually happened and ensure that we don't have a repeat of those things. The first ethnic cultural organization, the Ibibio Union, was born at this time. Others sprang up, but like the Igbo Union, became more political in character than the pioneer Ibibio Union. It's telling you that before now, there was the Ibibio Union, there were other groups that were concerned about cultural things. Children going to school, culture not getting destroyed, things like that. But when the Igbo Union became federal in 1943, they went haywire. By 44, they had designed a plan for Nigeria. By the way, there's nothing wrong in designing a plan for your ethnic group to go up. But there's everything wrong in you designing for your ethnic group to go up at the expense of others. In other words, you have to intentionally destroy others on your way up. And that's why we're going to read a bit more. Let me finish this one first. Others sprang up, but like the Igbo Union, became more political in character than the pioneer Ibibio Union. Unfortunately, Sir Arthur Richards ignored the diversity of the cultures and peoples of Nigeria, and a federation of 3 massive regions was imposed on Nigerians on 2nd August 1946, when the Richards Constitution was promulgated. Agitation for ethnic group self-determination and cultural sovereignty grew in the late 1940s. Events fed the flames of agitation. The primary event was what happened in 1945. In 1945, a prominent Igbo lawyer, Charles Onyema, a member of the Central Legislative Council, said in a public statement in Lagos that the Igbo domination of Nigeria was only a matter of time. These statements sparked off attacks on Igbos in other parts of Nigeria. This statement intensified the growth of ethnic and cultural unions throughout Nigeria. There sprang up the Edo Union, the Calabar Improvement League, the Egbo Modudua, the Ijaw Progressive Union, and so on. The fear of domination of the rest of Nigeria by any one ethnic group reinforced the search for a form of government in Nigeria which would prevent it. And so in 1947, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, a Yoruba, in his book Path to Nigerian Freedom, suggested the division of Nigeria into 40 states with cultural and linguistic affinity as the basis of division. Whilst your own fathers, Yoruba people, while your fathers were sitting and saying, what will be okay for everybody? Let's have ethno-linguistic states in Nigeria. Some other people's fathers were looking for how to destroy everybody as long as they are the ones who led everybody in Nigeria. And yet, it's those people that call you bigots. A person actually opened his mouth in 1945, not 2025, not 2023, not election. A person actually opened his mouth in 1945, not 2025, not 2023, not election period. 80 years ago, somebody said the Igbo domination of Nigeria was only a matter of time. That's 80 freaking years ago. 80 years ago, somebody said the Igbo domination of Nigeria was only a matter of time. And it was so, important in Nigerian political discourse that there's hardly any book you read about this era that you not find that statement. And I read a number of them. Don't be quick to say they are domination. So when you hear people say it today, don't be quick to say they are bigots. Ask them why. Says this in 45, you can look at the timelines. If somebody says this in 45, you can look at the timelines. There were Igbo unions starting in 36 in Calabar, in Lagos, in Port Harcourt. They became very political because they were fighting for their rights. By 43, they had this thing where they brought everybody together. So they called them Igbo State Union or Igbo Federal Union. Put them together in 43 to be called Igbo Federal Union. By 44, they created a plan as contained in the Igbo State Union document of that's 44. By 45, Badiwe and Banugo. That's 44. By 45, Onyema was waxing lyrical. We're going to dominate everywhere. The thing for me is this: what Onyema said in Lagos caused people to die in the north. My question to young people on social media who just insult everybody and just brag all over the place: do you know that there may be consequences for people that have nothing to do with your stupidity? You insult people's kings, insult their land, tell them you have owned something. You have done it here today. I just did not mention it because I've learned also not to always answer fools. You have talked about how you bought all the land. I saw Iroko Agiloko Oponuyente. You bought all the lands, you have done this, you have done that. Do you not know that things like this can affect people that have nothing to do with your nonsense? Onyema said what he said in 45. People were killed in the north. Of course not. It's human life. Do I like the fact that people were killed? Of course not. It's human life. One of the intellectuals, Chimamanda, was doing one of the intellectuals, Chimamanda, was doing an interview and he was talking about, oh, they've been kidnapping people, they killed them in the north in 1945. And I was like, why? A people that cannot answer the question or answer the question. A people who do not ask, a people that cannot answer the question or ask the question why is a people that can never grow. And that's why you discover that the same rhetoric from 1930s and 40s is still with us now. It was so bad that in 47, the Governor General had to say that these guys are complaining about everything, but they don't bring anything to the table. Or let me say it the way he said it. They brought the list to the table, but they were clamoring for more and more and more. 1947, January. Sir Arthur Richards. We are the victims, or we are the victims. 1947. You still hear it in 2025. I assure you, you're going to hear it in 2027, making 80 years. It has to be complete.
It's not that it happened. It's that
Hopefully, it doesn't go beyond then.
It's a concept that works.
It's not that it happened. It's that it's a concept that works.
I'm going to be able to.
If I tell you you are victimizing me, you are marginalizing me, I'm going to be able to. You will let your guards down. I can emotionally blackmail you into getting what I don't even qualify for.
And if you're young here and you're from the East, please understand this. This is the game that has been played.
And if you're young here and you're from the East, please understand this. This is the game that has been played, and people have to. You don't have to play that game.
You can have conversations. I can be wrong.
You don't have to play that game. You can do better.
You can be wrong.
You can have conversations. I can be wrong.
You can be stupid.
But it's not because I'm Yoruba. You can be wrong, and it's not because you are Igbo. You can be stupid on your own, and we can talk about it. I answered that because I've said a lot of things today that I did not mention. So,
until the rise of the Igbo
back to the book. So what we notice here is this: until the rise of the Igbo State Union and the things they were doing, everybody was nationalist. Everybody was concerned about the ethnic groups, yes, but they were not what you would call tribal, right? They were national, like Nigeria, Nigerians, but they were also very concerned with their own groups, but they were not using it against anybody. It took the Igbo Federal Union to get people awakened. And let me say this, especially for Yoruba people, for the most part in Nigerian politics, we've always reacted. Not that we couldn't be proactive, but our proactiveness was, so whatever we want to do, we did it on our own. We would move into places. For instance, we're talking about what happened with the action group the last time. They would do all those things. Papa, the rest of them in the action group, Yoruba people, they would do all those things. But when it comes to the reason they played politics the way they did, it was more reactionary than like intentional in the sense of like they came up with the idea originally.
And guess what? I don't even think it's a problem.
So if you call anybody tribalist in Nigeria today, you have Zeke to thank for it. And guess what? I don't even think it's a problem. Be tribalist if you want to be. As long as you understand the definition of tribalism.
You are proud of where you are from. Right? You are proud of where you are from.
In other words, you are proud of where you are from. Right? You are proud of where you are from. You are
proud of identity.
You are
society. Not that you are against people.
You are part of identity, of your contributions to society. Not that you are against people. So bigotry is the irrational hate for others based on maybe their ethnicity and things like that. Nobody has time for that here. But to be proud of where you're from, be proud. It's just that it's those ones who hate everybody that say everybody hates me. Everybody hates Chris. How many people have seen that show? Have you seen the show? Nice show.
The speaker himself.
Let's go on.
Fortune to study in this.
The speaker himself had the good fortune to study in this. By the way, this book was a speech that I now converted into a book. So this is 1974. So the speaker will be the writer himself. That's Ibi Ayodele. Someone say Chris Rock. Yes, Chris Rock. Everybody hates Chris. We have Nigeria has Chris Rock. The speaker or the writer himself had the good fortune to study in this premier university. It was in Ibadan. In this premier university institution in the middle and late 50s, during which period a large number of ethnic groups from all over Nigeria were represented and many life friendships forged among students without any attention being given to ethnic differences. Listen to what I'm about to read. It was not until the 1959-1960 session that tribalism entered student unionism in Ibadan.
It was not until the 1959-1960 session.
It was not until the 1959-1960 session that tribalism entered student unionism in Ibadan, thanks to alleged instructions by a politically oriented organization to students of that tribe to devise a tribal strategy to capture key union posts. What is it talking about? You know when you say Aluta Continua Victoria Asata SUG, all you are thinking about is supposed to be the welfare of your fellow students, but not with the Igbo State Union. They got a message across to Igbos in University of Ibadan. You know what they said to them? That they should make sure they feel the posts, student union, to your long.
Not federal government. This is true. You know what? Every place must
It's
be
not like
filled.
this is not federal
It
government.
must be filled with people
This
from
is
your
true.
place.
You know what? Every
And
place
anybody
must
who
be
speaks
filled,
against that is a tribalist.
and it must be filled with people from your place. And anybody who speaks against that is a tribalist,
Because if you are detribalized, I should be able to have anything I want.
and they need to be detribalized. Because if you are detribalized, I should be able to have anything I want in your place. What are you looking
tribal
for?
or clan or regional or sectionalism inflamed
The dissemination of tribal or clan or regional or sectionalism inflamed relations to very dangerous proportions in the years following independence.
Let me read this again. Let me just
Proportions not attained. Sorry, guys. I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to read this again. Let me just switch the audio source. The battery is going down. Give me a couple of seconds, please.
Thank you for staying tuned. Somebody asked a question on YouTube.
Thank you for staying tuned. Somebody asked a question on YouTube. But what did Azikiwe encounter in the US that made him so tribalistic? Or did he have it before he traveled? George, John is telling you my own understanding of what happened in that time. Umbo.
See, history is layered.
You see, history is layered. And the reason I use different books also is because sometimes you read something here, but you can only understand it from another book. And I said that to say this. In order to understand some of the things that Azikiwe did, you also have to understand the context of his education, where he grew up and things like that. So for instance, number one, he was not born in Igbo land. He was born in Zungeru. By the way, many of the leaders of the Igbos in the First Republic, many of them were not born in Igbo land. Azikiwe was born in Zungeru. What's his name? Ojuku was born in Zungeru. Chukuma Zogu was born in Kaduna. University was also born in the north. Most of them were born in the north. Now, traveling to the US, he gets exposed to two, and I think those two ideologies are affected, influenced his politics. Number one was the idea of Pan-Africanism from Marcus Garvey. And I've said it several times. Yes. Okay. The light might go for a second. All right, just a second, please.
We're back. Goes to the US.
We are back.
Two major things happened. First,
It goes to the US.
and I've said several times,
Two major things happened.
I respect
First, Pan-African movement. And I've said several times that I respect Marcus Garvey and all the, whether the Caribbeans or Black Americans who came up with the idea of Pan-Africanism. I think they were trying to rediscover their heritage and their identity, having been away from the homeland for many years. So for me, I think it's important for me to acknowledge that. However, any Nigerian or any African who grew up in Africa and comes up with the idea of Pan-Africanism based on the ideas of Marcus Garvey needs to have their brains checked. The idea of the oneness of the continent, the idea that Africa is a place, like one village, cannot just move anyhow. That thinking, it's okay for somebody who has not come home to think of that. I don't blame a Black American who thinks, an African American who thinks like that, a Caribbean who thinks that, I don't blame them. But if we're a Nigerian or an African to say, oh, You know we are not one in terms of identity. We're not. And it's not a problem because you don't ask this for any continent. Nobody goes to Europe asking for all of them to be one. You don't go to Asia asking, why is only Africa that must be, we are one Africa? So Zeke used to talk about that, and you'll find it in his book, The Renaissance Africa, published in 1937. He was talking about how there should be no Yoruba and Igbo, no Fanti, no Hausa, we are all Oga. While you are saying that, you are see the person saying that God has specially created your own ethnic people. That's one. About the dominance thing, you have to remember this, that 1948 was when Israel was created. I mean, the modern Israel was I mean, the Guinea independence, they were settled. Thank you for the gift. They were settled in 1948. You saw the power of the Jews. I mean, of course, if you say this in America, they'll say you are, I mean, of course, this is not anti-Semitic. This is just, let me recommend a book. Please, if you are interested, you should read this book, The Jewish Phenomenon. Fantastic book. It tells you about how the Jews create wealth and how they're able to go up the ladder. Even if they got into the country as poor, they have a way of doing things. There's no way you're going to read the 1949 speech, the original one, not the fake one that they published in the 1960s. By the way, I have the fake one too. That one, they published a booklet of speeches, right, that Azikiwe gave, and then they edited that thing. But the original one already slipped through the cracks. When you read the original statement, the speech he gave in Aba at the Igbo Congress, 1949, you will see three things there. Well, you see at least, amongst other things, you'll see these three things. Number one, you will see the exceptionalism, the Igbo exceptionalism, which will most likely have been influenced by either or both the American exceptionalism or the Zionist movement. And I use the Zionist, of course, when I say Zionist, I'm not talking about criticizing Zion or anything. If you read the Bible, the Israelites are supposed to be the chosen one. And you see when it says God has specially created his people, it's that concept. You also see some other American ideas like manifest destiny. It's inside that speech. That's an entire that's a total American idea. Like, it's not, you won't find that in any other, space, intellectual space, but America. Manifest destiny means something to them, just like 40 acres on a mule means something to America. It doesn't mean anything to a Nigerian. So the concept of manifest destiny was something that he also evoked. And then he did one other thing. I won't mention the group that does this or that has done this in history, or at the time in 1949 that did what he did. Again, remember what I said. Israel became a nation in 1948. He made his speech in 1949. There must be a correlation somewhere. Especially with the words, his choice of words. Does that make it interesting? There's one other thing that he did. That there's a group that has done it before, and it has worked for them. He pushed the idea that they were victims of Nigeria and victims of the world. He mentioned Nigeria, he mentioned Britain, and he mentioned in different parts of the world, we are this, we are that, we have been victims, we have been looked down upon, we have been this, we have been that. Those are the three things that he did. Where could he have gotten those things? He went to America.
That's the fourth thing. You also see the fourth thing, the Pan-African thing. Why?
The Pan-African thing. Oh, that's the fourth thing. You also see the fourth thing, the Pan-African thing. Why? Because he found a way to say the God of Africa has specially created the Igbo race to lead the children of Africa from the bondage of the ages. That's his Pan-African idea.
The idea of Pan-African for him is that his people lead
That's his Pan-African idea. The idea of Pan-African for him is that his people lead the rest of us. So we have to be together, and that's where you see the okay. This is Pan-African. He's thinking of all of us. But now it's his own people that must lead, but he's thinking of all of us. And somebody wrote here on TikTok, Zeke's Igbo Manifest Destiny was coined from the U.S. Manifest Destiny doctrine, which means dominion over. Yeah, that's what I would say. So you see a lot of the parallels, right? It was in the US and things like that. But this is Nigeria. We don't have time for that anymore. Anyway, I've read how in 1959, 1960, they were trying to ensure that the student union posts in Ibadan all will be filled. or at least the key ones, will be filled by folks from the ethnic group. Don't let anybody lie to you. We are detribalized. It's a lie. Irọ́ ni wọ́n pa. Èké ni wọ́n ṣe. Ṣé o Jésù? Ìwọ ni connect me. The dissemination of tribal or clan or regional sectionalism inflamed relations to very dangerous proportions in the years following independence. Proportions not achieved by religious propaganda since the middle of the 19th century. Perennially there too was the North versus South tension, which increased after 1960, partly because of the failure of the Southern leaders to appreciate the peculiar situation in the North that could not make their counterparts in that region see eye to eye with them. Partly because the Northerners, quite rightly, feared that views orthodox in the South but heretical in the North could be spread to the North by the Southern politicians. We're about to get to Awolowo's part. This fear was not unreal in view of the fact that there were in the key urban centers in the North potential fifth columnists, Southerners who shared the ethnic jingoism of the two Southern parties. From 1959, the situation became more inflammatory when one of the leaders in the South, Obafemi Awolowo, decided to give his party a truly pan-Nigerian complexion and make the whole of Nigeria his theater of operation. The tribal factor as the major cause of the Nigerian crisis and the civil war centered around the Igbo. Not because they were, okay, no, let me talk about that before I go into what happened with the war and what the Igbos did, because again, it's not about the Igbo, we're talking about how ethnicity influences politics in Nigeria, all right? In order to explain this very well, I'm going to have to read another book.
Awo, in his book that was published in 1947.
So understand, number one, understand what Awo was trying to do. Awo, in his book that was published in 1947, I talked about the importance of ethno-linguistic states and that, you know, those people should grow at their own pace. Nobody listened to him, by the way. So, he stayed in his western region from 1951. And then in 59, he thought to go into the nation and become the prime minister. And he said that the successes that they had made in the western region could be replicated at the national level. And so he chose to go into the North. Now, I read this last week, but I think it's important for me to
were by far the best and the most articulated and publicized. In order effectively to reach the
its policies and programs were by far the best and the most articulated and publicized. In order effectively to reach the electorate, the AG had put practically every means of locomotion into action. Road vehicles of all kinds, rivercraft, helicopters, and a small skywriting aeroplane, not to talk of motor bicycles, that's motorcycles, and bicycles. All these were brought into the service of the AG for mobility. So think about it, 1959. Papa was already having campaigns using helicopter. And they even have what they called a small skywriting aeroplane. What that means basically is that you have an aeroplane that could write in the sky. So that people could look up and see that you're campaigning, and then whatever it is that you're trying to tell them, you can tell by just looking into the sky. The National Council of Nigeria and outclassed in a game in which the leadership regarded itself as past masters and unparalleled. Its pride was deeply wounded and its image of superiority badly damaged. As for the Northern People's Congress, NPC, it regarded the AG campaign tactics with abhorrence and as an abomination. Why? I didn't say this last time, so let me quickly say this. So you see, when one of the things that the Northerners said, and they are right to say this, by the way, they are right, or they were right. They said that the helicopters were flying over their compounds. And you know, this thing is dark. I'm dark already, but nobody's able to call everything black like that. Okay, I think we're good. Normally, you know that they have this thing with their women. sometimes people will not go out. They're able to. Essentially, the choppers were invading their privacy, so to speak. So they had the problem with the fact that there were helicopters in the sky, just flying everywhere, and then they were in their compound, so people could be looking at the women. Okay, Bashika, thank you. And I think they were right to say that, right? Again, culture. Culture. And this is why we have to be very careful with. We are all one Nigeria. North, there's a way they do things. If you do it elsewhere, it might not have any issues, but there they may see it as invasion of privacy. So they considered the campaign tactics with abhorrence, or they regarded the AG campaign tactics with abhorrence and as an abomination. It felt outraged, that's the NPC. It felt outraged and humiliated. For the first time in all his princely life, even the Sardauna of Sokoto, Sir Ahmadu Bello, felt himself compelled to descend from his royal pedestal to take to the roads and marketplaces to meet the common people to solicit their votes. To him and the other members of his ruling feudal hierarchy, this was a novel, monstrous, and totally they were going to eat, and took out his handkerchief to clean his face, blew his nose, and discovered that there was dust. And according to some of the people that were there, what they said, which Papa also now wrote in his book, let me read to you.
One day, in fact, let me read first. Say that in the normal course of things, no one had dared
and command. One of the things that the AG set out to do was to destroy the very basis of this feudal concept. In other words, Action Group was going to change the dynamics in the north because, yes, for good reason, we want to give everybody in the north what we had in the south. Fine. But the point is that it was threatening to the establishment in the north. So he says one of the things that the AG set out to do was to destroy the very basis of this feudal concept. The AG made the point repeatedly that sovereignty over the people was vested in the people themselves, something that a feudal society would not want to hear, especially the aristocracy. The idea, for instance, that the people will be the ones to determine what happens in the society, in a place where everybody has to look up to Oga.
the AG made the point repeatedly that sovereignty over the people was
so he says here, the AG made the point repeatedly that excuse me. One day, the Sardauna, after a series of public depth of his feeling of utter revulsion and resolution, quote, I shall never forgive Chief Awolowo appeal to those he regarded as his own serfs, including the then incumbent prime his example. We of the AG regarded this reaction as a very welcome and salutary augury for the democratic practice in Nigeria. So the idea basically was was trying to get the North to experience what the West had experienced, and that, of course, became an issue for the North. Now, of course, I don't like what the Northerners did. And there are many examples that we read the other day. If you were here, I'm sure you remember how, for instance, one of the action group members, I think this was it Sokoto or Bauchi? One happened in Sokoto, the other one happened in Bauchi. The guy, was in Sokoto. He was, talking about AG and everything. They caught him, beat the hell out of him. One guy beat him mercilessly and left him for death. They took him to a hospital, took care of him, sued that guy to court. The magistrate court sentenced him to 2 years in prison. That guy that beat the other AG person was a prince in Sokoto. They sent him to court. He went to court and sent him to prison for 2 years. And then they appealed. And because of that appeal, they let him go. But of course, they let him go pending the hearing. And when the case was heard, it was dismissed by a judge who was also British. The doctor was British. The doctor that treated the one that was beaten and left for death. The magistrate who sentenced him to 2 years was British. The High Court judge was also British. Well, as soon as they released the guy, while waiting for, the appeal hearing, within 2 weeks, the magistrate court and the doctor who treated the action group Northern Man in Sokoto, those two left Nigeria within 2 weeks. And then the High Court judge, who then said, you know what, they dismissed it and said the guy should still go to prison. That man committed suicide. How that happened is not a conversation for today, but the point is that was how powerful power was in the North. Let me read something to you about that.
Many atrocities and acts of intolerance.
In the course of the long electioneering campaign, many atrocities and acts of intolerance were committed by the NPC against members of the AG. I will cite only 6 examples. I'm not going to read everything, just this one. In the first incident, an organizing secretary of the AG was mercilessly beaten on the orders of a Sokoto prince and abandoned as dead. The victim later recovered in the Sokoto General Hospital under the attention of an expatriate doctor. A report was made to the native authority police, who turned a deaf ear, and to the Nigerian police force, who truly confessed their inability to take action, because the area where the crime was committed, Sokoto City, was outside their jurisdiction magistrate and sentenced to 2 years imprisonment with hard labor. The prince appealed to the High Court and was in the interim granted bail. In due course, the appeal was heard and dismissed. In connection with that first incident, the expatriate magistrate who tried the case in the first instance and the expatriate doctor who testified to the condition of the victim when he was brought to the hospital for treatment left Nigeria for good within a month. I said 2 weeks, month. Within a month or so of the conviction and sentence of the culprit prince. The High Court judge, Sir Algernon Brown, who heard the appeal and dismissed it, committed suicide by shooting himself, also within about a fortnight. Okay, this one is the one that happened within 2 weeks. The suicide was within 2 weeks. The deportation was within 1 month. Committed suicide by shooting himself, also within about a fortnight of his adjudication of the appeal.
So that happened, of course, because of the action group. Because as far as
a lot of things happened in the North. So that happened, of course, because of the incursion of the action group. Because as far as the Oga in the North was concerned, the king of the North, he would have preferred everything to be the way it was. But I was trying to break into the North. We had other conversation the last time. Let's continue.
And the civil war centered around the Igbo. See one June. 1 second. It says the tribal factor as the major cause of the Nigerian crisis and the civil war centered around the Igbo, not because they were worse had pushed them, they were less discreet, more articulate, and abler than the others to irritate and provoke others. He's saying that the reason they did was because they were less discreet, and a lot of stuff. Please let's pass up on TikTok. We're going to go back to this in a bit, in like a minute. We'll just get this off a little. An Amber Alert is affecting the streaming. Thank you. Let's just do this so that we can.
Let me recognize my own Baba name. Baba said I've been here for the past, before I came, said for the past one, I said, hey, oh my Lord, she gone, but one before.
I really need your help. I'm going to get back to the reading very soon. I don't like what I'm about to read. But in order to make sure that it doesn't just, go off. Please, Parata. Aki Shafi, thank you, sir.
All right. Now, speaking of Dangote, somebody brought up his name in a podcast, and then somebody responded to that claim by Cosmas Maduka. So Cosmas Maduka is the CEO of Coscharis Motors, and he said this. I'm going to play the video. You're going to listen to it. And